Yo, back here, back here with the guys. We got a good show today. Got my boy, Dark Vader in the building. Kieran's back. My big headed brother's back. Dog champs here. So we gonna start it off hot. We really about to start it off hot because I saw Kieran's TikTok the other day, and we gotta talk about this. So, Kieran, can you explain to me why you think Tyreek Hill clears Larry Fitzgerald?
What?
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think Tyreek Hill has more seasons as the argument as like the best wide receiver in the league. Not to mention, when I'm looking at receivers, I like to see what the ceiling you can bring to an offense, and I think Tyreek Hill has a higher ceiling than a guy like Larry Fitzgerald because, in my opinion, he's the top 3 deep threat of all time. He's arguably the fastest receiver of all time, and he is a good route runner. And I know. Listen, I know Larry Fitzgerald. I understand that Larry Fitzgerald has like top 3 hands of all time. I just don't think he can bring like a ceiling to an offense like a guy like Tyreek Hill.
Can I interject on this real quick?
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, go ahead.
You do realize he played with 23 different quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
And also, no. Let me interject on this as well. You do realize that only 2 of those quarterbacks were Pro Bowlers. Only one was a Hall of Famer, and for each of those, he only had them for 2 years, right?
Are you talking about
Carson Palmer and Kurt Warner? He only had those for an average of 2 years.
Yeah.
So he had his best seasons outside of those guys. So each season,
disagree with that.
He had better. So who's had the better quarterbacks during that time?
I mean, it is Tyreek Hill, but at the same time, I can say that like Tyreek Hill like saved Tua's career. Like, what was Tua before Tyreek Hill? Like,
we would never know that because they got him at the same time.
You know why I don't want to hear that? You know why I don't want to hear that? Because when I say what was Josh Allen before Stefon,
exactly.
Everybody says, "Oh, Stefon." I mean, Josh Allen was getting. I don't want to hear that, bro. I don't want to hear that because that's.
Wait. Let me get in on this before we go too far.
We're hold on straight because it doesn't kind of make sense to me because I know you say you Tyreek Hill's a top 10 receiver of all time, and when he's probably done, if you want to talk about peak, he is probably there. But when somebody, what do you think are the most important things for a wide receiver, Karen?
I think.
All right.
I think
that's how we're gonna.
So like, I think.
I just wanted that.
Yo, who got the?
What just happened there?
Go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
My thing is, I do agree with you that hands are the most important, but like, the problem is that I feel like most of the top 10 receivers have great hands. Like when I look at my receivers list, like, Jerry Rice had great hands later in his career, like usually at his peak, not earlier in his career. Randy Moss, great hands. Calvin Johnson, great hands. I think what separates Tyreek Hill from like Larry Fitzgerald is his speed and like his yak ability overall and his deep threat ability. I know I just said it in like 3 different things.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. So
my bad.
You straight. So let me ask you this then. So you think Tyreek Hill's better than Marvin Harrison?
Not yet.
How?
Where do you have Larry Fitzgerald?
You got Larry Fitzgerald. You got Larry Fitzgerald 10.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's kind of wait.
All right, wait. Let me get.
Matter of fact, I got another one. So give me the 9 over him.
Ready?
Yeah.
This is
All right, I'm gonna list right here.
Where? Let me get the 9.
Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Marvin Harrison, Terrell Owens, Devontae Adams, and Tyreek Hill.
No.
Where's Moss in that again?
2.
Moss is 2. Okay.
So
all right. Okay.
So you're not gonna have the second all-time leading receiver as anywhere in the top 10?
I don't go by. I don't go by that.
I'm asking him. No. He's second in receptions and second all-time in yards. With 23 different quarterbacks. Mind you, he only dropped 24 balls in his entire career. So that means between each quarterback, he only dropped maybe 1.1 ball.
I mean that's fine, but like,
And he has the most playoff yards in history as well,
I think
outside of Jerry Rice.
I think Kieran's a little laggy.
it's
But
like
go ahead,
lagging really. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
This is all right. This is why. See, Trent. This is why I get agitated because I get called the old head. But then the flip side to that is, okay, you can call me an old head. You can call me whatever you want. The issue that I have is that it's like the moment we got to the point where people could look up YouTube highlights, it's like they stopped looking at anything that happened before 2002. Like, and if we're being honest, there's no excuse for us to even have that conversation because that is Larry Fitzgerald's time. Like, if y'all want to disrespect Michael Irvin and some of these dudes that played in the 90s and 80s and whatever, whatever. But I'm not saying you are, but what I am saying is the notion that Tyreek Hill raises the ceiling of an offense more than a dude like Larry Fitzgerald, who, if we're being honest, carried a sorry, putrid, disgustingly piss-poor run franchise for the entirety of his career, while being a model of consistency, regardless of how poor the quarterback play was. And we're saying this dude doesn't raise the ceiling of an offense? Dog.
I mean, I think he's a higher four.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the most.
Okay, I'll take it back. I think Fitz is a higher floor raiser, but I do think Tyreek's a higher seed.
I think
he's better.
He's lagging a little bit. That's tough.
He's lagging.
I think
Karen, you might have to go on your phone or something, bro, because you lagging a lot. But what I was about to say is, bro,
all right, I'll go.
Yeah, bro, the most important things for wide receiver is hands and route running. And Tyreek Hill has the hands is not even comparable, and he's not even a better route runner.
Tyreek Hill's hands are above average.
Bro, if Larry Fitzgerald hands is 10, Tyreek, the gap between them two when it comes to catching the ball is too ridiculous for me to even say that. Now, Tyreek Hill's better. I'm not gonna lie. Tyreek Hill's better than like 90% of the receivers of all time. Like 90.
90% of them?
I'm not gonna lie. He's okay. Let me push back. 85. 80.
Okay. When we say all-time receivers, are we saying all-time receivers as in like all the receivers that have ever
played the game?
Okay, cool. Okay.
Give him the 85, and that means he's top 8.
Well, the 85. That means top 8. My math wrong. OD. My fault. I'll put it like this: Tyreek Hill is like a lock top 20 receiver of all time. Put it like that.
That's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Look, all I'm saying is that I think Kieran's tweaking because when it comes to hands and route running, I don't think it becomes comparable.
And this is the issue. And this is the issue that I have with this is like we see guys like Tyreek Hill, and I'm not saying Tyreek Hill isn't special or that he's some kind of one-trick pony. Tyreek Hill has been the most dangerous weapon in the NFL since he got here. True. Like I'm not discrediting that. I've said for years, like, if you're talking about a better receiver, you could argue a bunch of guys ahead of him. About who's the most dangerous weapon in the NFL, it's always been Tyreek Hill because he has speed that you can't account for. You can't cover it. You can't scheme for it. It's just at the end of the day, if I can run by you, it doesn't matter what your coverage is. So I understand that part. Okay. But if we're talking about all-time receivers, hands, the route running, like the contact balance after the catch, because a lot of y'all realistically that we're having the conversation with aren't young enough to remember a young Larry Fitzgerald that was amazing after the catch. Like a 6'4", 200+ wide receiver that was stiff arming that. Like,
Trey, can I say something about Tyreek Hill? My only thing is that I think Tyreek Hill, when it comes to like when people call these guys like one-trick ponies, I feel like Tyreek Hill's an exception because I don't think like Tyreek Hill is like a Deebo Samuel because like I feel like Tyreek Hill is at least good at everything. Like he's a good contested catcher. He has good hands. He is a good route runner. I'm not saying he's like on the level of other guys, but he is a good route runner.
Okay, wait, hold on. Before we get too far, I'm gonna shift back to the Debo thing because Debo get way too much hate.
I know.
He get.
Yeah, I wouldn't call Debo one.
Yeah, I'm about to
You're just saying it from the steam.
since I'm not on Player's Choice right now. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get this off. The Debo hate is disgusting, and y'all need to stop.
I know.
But hold on. But wait, let me get to it. The man is actually a good wide receiver. He is great. Like, is he great? No. Like, but he is a good wide receiver. The thing that makes him great is his yards after the catch. The same way Tyreek Hill he has good hands. He does not have great hands. The same way that Tyreek Hill is a really good route runner now, as opposed to what he was when he first came into the league, which was I was a running back, literally, which is why him and Eric Bieniemy were so close, because when he got into the league, Eric Bieniemy was the running back coach for the Chiefs, and that was his position coach. So, yes, if we're talking about, like, the growth of him as a receiver, he has made amazing strides. He is a true, like, wide receiver now. But to call him better than possible, like, I've said this myself, Larry Fitzgerald is in my top 3. For you to be that consistent for that long, no matter how bad the quarterback play was, and everybody knew when you lined up against the Cardinals, like, yeah, Anquan Bolden's next to you. You got to account for that for a while. But also at the same time, the table setter in that offense was always Larry Fitzgerald. Always.
I have a question. You think Fitz is better than Megatron?
Yes, I do.
Whoa.
You dragging it.
I do.
I
think it's close. I think it's close.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to strongly disagree there.
It depends on what you value, honestly. It's kind of the same conversation, in my opinion, with the AJ Brown, Stefon Diggs stuff.
Nah,
it really just depends on what you value.
No, I don't even think it's that close. I don't even think it's that close, to be honest.
I think, to me, the top 4 receivers of all time.
I think they're very close. The only difference.
Yo, Trent, go.
Larry Fitzgerald is closer to Julio than he is Megatron. I can't lie.
I agree.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
100%.
Even though I think AB is clearly better than Julio, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I think
in the red zone and the touchdown situation, because Julio was allergic to the end zone.
I think me and Trent have the same top 4 receivers.
Nah, well, you have T.O. You don't even have T.O. top 5.
I don't. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you tweaking. But
okay. In my defense, these receive like all these guys. Like, I think besides Moss and Rice, like 3 through 7, to me at least, is interchangeable.
All right. Well, what's the name? We can talk about that later on, but let's get into these. Of course, we got to talk about the trade deadline. Of course, the biggest trade of the talk: Chase Young to the 49ers, basically for free. Because if somehow, some way, Chase Young wants to lead the 49ers or get a bigger contract, they can literally get the 3rd round pick back. So I'll start with you, champ. How do you feel about the trade specifically?
They're not going to be keying in on him as much as they was probably keying in on him in Washington, and even then, their focus was in the middle of that defense with Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen. So for him and the biggest question about him is his durability anyway. So for him to be there, and Montez Sweat, I would say, for them to be there for these amount of time and not even have any double-digit sack seasons when they're primarily focused on the middle of that defense with those 2 defensive tackles is kind of like crazy if you really think about it. Because if they're keying in and those 2 guys are drawing double teams, then guess what? You need to be getting some double-digit sacks as a defensive end. But correct me if I'm wrong. Don't the San Francisco 49ers play the 3-4, not the 4-3?
No, they play the 4-3. They play the 4-3.
They play 4-3.
They like to have Armstead and Hargrave out at the same time, and like they like to use Armstead's 3 technique. So
yeah. But I think those other guys are going to gobble up all of the attention, and he's going to be more like what's the guy's name from the Minnesota Vikings back in the early 2000s when the Williams Wall was there. I think his name was Kevin Edwards or something like that. The defensive end played on opposite of Jared Allen. I think he's going to be for that team.
I know bro name. I forgot.
Yeah, I think he's going to be what he was to the Minnesota Vikings to the San Francisco 49ers. He's going to be a good utility pass rusher that's going to get the extra attention, that's going to benefit from the attention that the others are getting. But I don't think he's going to be doing so good because of his durability. He cannot stay healthy, man. He cannot stay healthy.
My thing about the Niners about this trade, it's like good for their defense, but I think like the main issue with them is that like Trent Williams is just not healthy. Like that O-line is really bad without him, and it showed like 2 days ago. I think it's nice. I think it's nice they got another pass rusher, but if they're going to compete in the NFC, Trent Williams and Debo have to be healthy.
I agree. I definitely mentioned that when I talked about them before, that the 49ers offense is probably, in my opinion, the reason why they're struggling is more indicative on Trent Williams and Debo not being there versus Brock Purdy declining, is what I think. Sure, more tape is on Brock Purdy. And at the same time, this is, the Brock Purdy slander is somewhat deserved considering some people are putting him in the top 10 conversation, which was a little wild, saying he's better than Kirk, saying he's better than Justin Herbert in some cases. So deserved, but he's just not like that. He is young, but when you get that expectation, you deserve to get certain levels of slander. Chase Young, I agree with everything that everybody's saying here. I did see a very interesting report, maybe rumor that the 49ers were trying to get Adoree Jackson from the Giants.
Yeah, they were. They didn't get the deal off in time.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not.
No. That was a troll tweet. Never mind. I'm tweaking. That was a troll tweet.
I think it was a troll tweet though.
Yeah, it was. It was Steinberg. Yeah, that
was Steinberg.
Okay.
Yeah, he was trolling.
Yeah, he was trolling.
Yeah, that's all he do.
That's nasty word. That's nasty word. Yeah, but if the 49ers are able to get better pressure moving forward, I think next game is against the Jaguars, right? If they can really start getting pressure on Trevor Lawrence, I mean, the Jaguars could still win regardless. I think the Jaguars are a good team. But if they can start getting more consistent pressure, the whole conversation regarding the DBs and not being able to cover, I think means less, especially, like I already said, they're looking at the Eagles. They don't want Jalen Hurts to just be back there and just chilling. And when you do get pressure on Jalen Hurts, not going to lie, sometimes he does some really dumb stuff. So that's probably what they're looking for.
Josh, how you feel about this trade?
It's a really good trade. I mean, Chase Young's been playing out of his mind. Like, I'm pretty sure he's top 10 in pressures this year. High in pass rate. Like, I know his run defense took a step down this year, but like, it's not a huge deal. And plus, you have two really great defensive tackles eating up space, collapse in the pocket for him to just get a free sack. So like, it's just a great deal for them.
I mean, like Chase Young's like specialty was being a pass rusher, not really a run defender. So it's really fun.
Trey, how you feel about that trade?
I'm gonna be honest. I still don't fully know how I feel in terms of whether it's a great move or not. Like, I think good on them for seeing if they can try and get something out of a guy who was highly touted, and you're basically getting it for free. Because if he walks, it's a compensatory pick. But if we're being honest, outside of his draft status, Chase Young hasn't done a lot in the NFL at this level. So I'd be lying if I told you that, this moves the needle in practice. Like, in theory, it sounds great. Like, in theory, you have Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, Cleveland Farrell,
Randy Gregory.
Yeah, Randy Gregory. Like, now you have like the ability to kind of send people out in leaves at quarterbacks, which is always a good thing. But again, like, I'm not quite sure what this really does, because again, he hasn't been special. So at the end of the day, there was a reason why they were willing to part with somebody they took that high for a third round pick. Like, they wanted him out of there. Like,
I think this is also like they have to win because they can't pay him next summer.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what's up, Cowboy? Appreciate you coming up. Yeah. How you feeling about Chase Young to the 49ers trade?
I mean, like, so here's the thing, right? Chase Young still has traits, right? So, like, I think that the 49ers saw that and they were like, yeah, he's still a young player. Let's bet on this and maybe we can get something out of this. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a bad trade for either side, to be honest with you, because the Commanders were going to move on from him anyway. I mean, you have so much money tied up on that defensive line with Payne and Allen that, you know what I'm saying? Like them parting ways with Sweat and Chase Young, it made a lot of sense.
All right. No, yeah, I think this team is crazy. John Lynch did it again, bro. Found out a way just to get a free trade. This is ridiculous. But I will say though, bro, like, and
You gotta win.
Like what Matthew said, bro. Bro's only 24. But
I don't know why the Commanders would give up Chase Young after trading Sweat though. I don't know. I didn't really like it from their perspective.
I'm just like this, bro. No disrespect to the Cowboys, bro, because of course Cowboy B is here. But bro, if they don't win it all, this proves my point of them being the California Cowboys. This literally proves my point.
That's crazy.
They don't win with this team. And I don't want to hear no quarterback complaints about Brock Purdy because y'all was gassing bro up for 4 weeks straight and talking about he was in the MVP conversation. So I'm like, bro, like, y'all got to win something, bro. Like, it's been too long, bro. And, like, imagine if the Cowboys did this, bro. You go get Chase Young. Like, come on. Like, I'm sick of seeing you getting to the NFC chip and losing. Go win something, bro. Like, it's aggravating, bro.
Imagine if they lost 3 games straight to P.J. Walker.
If the Cowboys lost to P.J. Walker, who else?
The Vikings and the Bengals.
Yeah, the Bengals not really people not gonna push back because people talking about we're gonna talk about Joe Burrow later on.
Joe Burrow
losing a Kirk like that with a bottom 5 defense. Yeah, the Cowboys would be getting killed.
They lost to primetime Kirk.
Don't disrespect Kirk.
Kirk's been, you want to know what? You want to know what? Kirk Cousins, like, just when you look at the quarterbacks this season, he was arguably in that top 5, top 7, just performance-wise this season.
He was. Hey, yeah, because people love to do that right now talks, like how we doing with A.J. Brown, because we talking about right now, Kayvon Thibodeau better than Nick Bosa, but that's a whole different.
All right, enough.
And if we're talking about right now,
if we're talking about right now, all feelings aside, Kayvon is playing like a top 5 edge rusher in this league. He's been tweaking, bro. Like, he's been going crazy.
Don't he play for that? That's the guy who plays for y'all, right?
Yeah, for the Giants. Yeah.
And if we're talking about right now, Austin Eckler is better than Alvin Kamara.
Yo,
no, Alvin Kamara's been playing really well.
He's a bum.
Wait,
Cowboy, he's a bum.
Because Cowboy, I know you came in here. You said Austin Eckler's top 10 running back. Why do you think he's a top 10 running back?
No, I was. I just wanted to start some stuff. That's all. Bro, I saw that on my timeline today.
I started laughing.
I was on the beach. I'm in Miami right now. I was on the beach. I had these very attractive women next to me. I was trying to keep it cool. I saw that video and I died laughing. He was so passionate against Austin Eckler. I couldn't stop laughing. Like, bro must have had him on his fantasy team. Bro must have had him in a parlay that didn't hit, and he was going wild on him or something.
Yeah. I don't know. His hate for Kirk Cousins and what's the name and Austin Eckler is crazy. But now let's talk about this. I'm gonna start with you this champ. So I'm gonna start off with it. You know, Tyreek Hill hit 1,000 yards in 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even think he'll be the first player if he did to win MVP. Don Hudson won MVP, right?
Don Hudson won the MVP.
Yeah. So, should Tyreek Hill, if he breaks 2K, be the second receiver to win MVP?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Number one, you're doing something that no one has ever done before at the receiver position, as far as getting 2,000 yards. I mean, we've seen some magnificent season. We see the 1,800-yard season. We even saw Calvin Johnson get 1,900 to eclipse 2,000 yards. And not only that, the defense is predicated on them trying to stop you, and they still cannot.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to stop Tyreek Hill every way possible, and they still can't. So and without Tyreek Hill in their offense, yes, Waddle is great. Some of the other receivers they have are pretty good, but I doubt they get that same coverage that they get now without him in the lineup. So it is imperative that they have him in the lineup at this point. And I doubt that they get as much running room as they do when in the running game without Tyreek present there.
Yep.
Because you're trying to focus on him the entire time that he's on the field. So definitely he should get that. I mean, if he gets that and especially if they get a first round bye and they're the best team in the AFC, yes, of course. Let them have the MVP. I mean, it's been too predicated on the quarterback position anyway.
Thank you.
Well, I think. Well, I'm gonna take a twist to it. I'm gonna just ask everybody this: does anybody disagree that he should have won MVP?
I don't think he should win it.
I mean, to me, I feel like Tua is going to get more votes than him. You know,
I feel like that's
just because
That's wild.
it's lame. It's just like Tua's a quarterback. We know that Tyreek Hill is way more valuable than Tua. Like,
Yeah,
don't know.
Like,
my thing is, I think the way that Tyreek Hill's got to have to win, they have to be the first seed, and like he's just got to keep going. That's like the only way, because like I guess seeding matters in these rankings.
My question to you guys is
it
this.
does for MVP.
My question to you guys is this: who's been the best quarterback just this season, in like just performance-wise this season?
I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea.
It might be Lamar.
Tua,
Exactly, like you
Tua's
don't
been
know,
the
right?
best performing quarterback this year so far.
Bro, there's
talking
no
about
court.
that.
There's
I
like
don't know
no.
about that. I don't know.
He's number one in passing yards and number one in passing touchdowns.
There's no quarterback that's having an all-time great season.
I was just about to say
Mhm.
part of the reason why I think Tyreek Hill should get MVP is because if we watch all of the quarterbacks, like forget all the stats. If you turn on the tape and just watch all of their games, the guy who's been the most consistent, honestly, is Lamar. And nobody's gonna jump out the window and say, oh, well, yeah, Lamar should definitely be MVP right now. Nobody's gonna say that. Like, the reality is Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in the league. He has not played clean ball all year. Justin Herbert had a real hot streak.
He has slumped.
And then put up 2 duds. Even Tua, like Tyreek's quarterback, that game against the Bills was terrible. Even the game against the Giants where they won, he did not look good. Like, there are
Second half against the Eagles.
like
And
all,
yeah, he didn't look good against Pittsburgh.
all of these quarterbacks, you can name them. Like, none of them have played at like this otherworldly level. If we're talking about MVP, most valuable player, not most valuable quarterback, player, we need to get back to that P part. Like, the most valuable player in the league right now would be Tyreek Hill, especially if he gets to the point where he breaks 2K. If he breaks 2K, yes, get that man the MVP.
Bro,
I'll
I'm
say
gonna be
two things. I'll say 2 things real quick. My first thing regarding this conversation, if you're saying right now, that's one thing. But I will say that, like, when it comes to MVP, it's not until like later on in the year where you start making your noise. Like, I mean, that was the kind of what happened. Mahomes and the Chiefs kept on winning. It was Jalen Hurts' award. We knew that. Obviously, the injury kind of derailed it for him. And then Patrick Mahomes kind of cleared the award, especially like later on in the season versus the beginning of the year. My thing is, like, call me petty, or call me realistic. But if Cooper Kupp didn't win the MVP award, then I can't see Tyreek Hill winning the MVP.
Reason why, hold on, I got to push back on that.
Somebody did that before.
I'm about to
Exactly.
push back on that. We've seen receivers triple crown before. That's the only thing why I'm giving it pushback, because we haven't seen somebody since the black and white era win the MVP, and also and we've never seen anybody break 2,000 yards. We've seen
before Cup, who did Triple Crown?
Steve
And
Smith.
how
Steve
impactful-
Smith and Jerry Rice.
Steve Smith.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, that year, like, it is a quarterback award. MVP is a quarterback award. There were quarterbacks playing at a very high level.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers win it?
Okay, I will say
Aaron
this,
Rodgers
though.
was playing at a very high level. That
Yeah,
year.
I will say this,
Aaron
though.
Rodgers was out
Aaron Rodgers
What do you-
basically.
Okay,
Sorry.
how well did he play that year?
Bro, he only threw 4 picks.
Okay.
Bro, time out, bro.
He threw 37 touchdowns and 4 picks, bro.
Yeah, that's
That's insane.
Good God.
Like, he was literally balling it.
Okay, and
He had like
they're the first seed. You can't just say okay to that, bro. It's the same thing when he did in
No.
2011. He threw like
What were the Rams? Were the Rams the second seed?
No, they were the 4th seed.
The Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the
Yeah.
4th seed that year, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Every MVP Aaron Rodgers won, he deserved it. The only one you can really maybe argue that should have went to JJ Watt was like the 2014 one.
Yeah.
And
But like,
bro, to be honest with you, the only reason why, like to me, the only reason why I like this year in particular, I would say Tyreek Hill's got to win it is because like, are you going to tell me that like right now the Eagles to me are the best team in the league? I hate saying it. You guys see the name Cowboys beat. I hate saying that. But Jalen Hurts is the quarterback on that team. Are we going to sit here and say that he's having a phenomenal
No.
MVP type season?
No, he's leading the league in turnovers.
But that's the thing though, right? Like that's going to be a case that's made. He's a quarterback on the team that wins a lot. Like, you know, there isn't a quarterback having like a standout season, but there's a receiver on pace for a historical record.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Playing at a level that we've rarely seen wide receivers play at.
But let's not also like gloss over the fact that Tyreek Hill might finish with like over 15 touchdowns this year as well. You know,
and here's the thing, right? Like when it comes to Tua, to me, Tyreek Hill has done wonders for Tua's career. Tua is not even close to the same quarterback that he is without Tyreek Hill. I just don't see that being the case.
I agree.
I mean, I see what y'all are saying. Ultimately, I just don't think it's going to go to someone that's not a quarterback. I mean, even with like everything you're saying regarding Tyreek Hill, and we go to the end of the season and he has 2,000 yards, Tua probably would be throwing over 5,000 yards, and he honestly probably would have over 40 touchdowns if we're being honest. And then he would have over 100 quarterback rating. So he would have that all-time season that we're talking about. He would have that all-time season.
Here's the thing, though,
Yeah.
like what Champ said earlier. We've seen quarterbacks throw for 5,000 yards and have a great year. We've never seen a receiver get 2,000 yards. Never seen it, bro.
Like, we know it's a new milestone.
I see what you're saying in terms of, you know,
This is a
record, you know,
it's a
milestone in terms of
Milestones of history.
But I don't think milestones immediately mean MVP.
They
I'm
don't.
being honest, I just don't think.
Always.
Yeah, besides,
They always mean it, but it just gives it a better pace.
I was about to say, when you have quarterbacks that, if we know this is more than likely a quarterback award, but all the quarterbacks are playing either below standard or there's nobody that's having a standout year, and you have a player that is literally about to break a record that has never been touched in the history of your sport, for you to pass him up as the MVP is not only doing a disservice to him, but you are doing a disservice to the game and your product as a business.
not to mention,
I feel like this record is also this record probably would have been broken by Justin Jefferson too if he stayed healthy. I think this is just
that's the thing. It's a war of attrition.
If we'd all be
No. He had a chance to do that last year. We got owned by Jair Alexander.
Wow.
He's not lying. And I also think though too, like my fault me food and stuff, but
also AJ Brown might break 2002. By the way, this year.
Let's keep it a buck, bro. Let's keep it a buck. It'll be different if what's his name was still on the Chiefs. And say take Travis Kelce out. It'll be different if he still had Mahomes. Yeah, it will look different because you're playing with Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, he's playing with Tua. So they're gonna look at that. And even though Tua will be bugging out throwing to Tyreek Hill, Tua is not a top 5 quarterback.
All right, I have a question for y'all.
Okay.
Because I agree with a lot of the things. That's why I thought Cooper Kupp should have won it. That's why Christian McCaffrey should, if like they were still playing really well, it would have been McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill. I agree with a lot of the things you're saying. I'm just being more like realistic in terms of like the quarterback. It would have to be a great disparity for someone like Tyreek Hill to win it. But let's just say this. If we said it's between Tyreek Hill and AJ Brown also gets over 2,000 yards and they're the best record in the NFL.
Co-MVP. Like how you did with Steve McNair and Peyton Manning. Co-MVP.
Dude, like
we be mad at that, honestly.
We can all agree that like since like week 3, he's been playing like I'm not saying he's the best receiver. He's been playing like the best receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Like
say it, Kieran.
Say
it.
No, AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
It's week 3.
If AJ Brown, like I can't imagine like 2 receivers getting 2,000 yards. That'd be
That would be
crazy.
crazy. Especially when the
and
quarterback
that's
play in
the-
the league is down right now. That's
the
Not
only
to
thing,
not
right?
to not to mention like AJ Brown also has like Devontae Smith on the outside, like too as well.
Yeah, what would nothing would change for me to say that.
Yeah.
I don't care
I
if
mean,
he breaks
Tyreek always been better than Diggs, so there's really
shot.
nothing to admit.
I'm shy.
I'm not chatting though. I'm not.
I'm shy.
He's spitting. He's
He's
telling
getting
the truth.
better.
I don't
He's
know.
gonna stay better.
He's shy. He's shy.
Rare Josh Wynn.
That boy Stefon Diggs closer to AJ Brown than Tyreek Hill. Let's be for real.
I mean, what's his name? AJ Brown is closer to CeeDee Lamb than Stephon Diggs. That's all I got to say.
Yo.
No.
I disagree.
Hey, yo, look, here's what
Yo,
I'm
are we
saying.
gonna yo?
I'm so
That's
dead
so
serious.
crazy.
Bro,
I'm dead serious. I'm
He said
so
that in the
dead.
clip, though. He said
Bro,
that
that's
the
not
AJ
even
Brown.
So
disrespect, though.
bad.
No,
That's
CD.
not-
I think CD Lamb. I think CD Lamb is like on the next tier of receivers.
He is.
Bro, here's what I'm saying right now. If they keep targeting CeeDee Lamb in that offense, bro, he's going to be borderline. He's going to be right in that top 5 discussion, like by the end of the year. If they
You're a bot, Trevor. You're a bot. Because I don't know.
Like,
CD
if-
don't
if they keep
Wait, what did he say?
targeting
What did he say? I didn't see it.
he said CD don't clear Ayuk.
You're a bot.
Yeah, that's wild. That's
Wait,
wild.
hold on.
CD
Wait,
Lamb wipes Ayuk.
CD
I'm
Lamb
about to say,
wipes.
wait, let me just say this about Brandon Ayuk, because I am not high on dude. I haven't been high on dude since he got to the league, and then literally the next year, Kyle Shanahan is starting Trent Sherfield or whoever dude was over him.
Juwan Jennings.
Or fam, like you can name him. He was throwing out mad receivers over dude because he wasn't living up to his expectations. He shows 1 year where he's got a little bit of flash, and now all of a sudden we're trying to throw him guys over CD and talk about him being a top 10 receiver. Dog. Right now they don't have any other weapons in that passing game outside of George Kittle and Brandon Ayuk. What is Brandon Ayuk doing for that offense right now? Don't worry, I'll wait.
He's pissing me off in fantasy. That's what he's doing.
Exactly. That's what I said earlier, man. That's why you Austin Eckler.
Y'all just bored of this.
I don't.
He
I don't
definitely
like,
has
I don't
Austin
like
Eckler on
fantasy.
his fantasy team.
I don't like fantasy football. I don't like fantasy football, so I'm not factoring that in. I'm just saying, if we're going to talk about the narratives that have been pushed on the internet, whether it's here or elsewhere, where people are saying Brandon Ayuk is the number 1 receiver on that team, Deebo Samuel isn't the guy. This is Brandon Ayuk's team when it comes to that receiving core. Well, now with all these guys out, with less mouths to feed in this offense right now because of injury, we should be seeing Brandon Ayuk stepping into that role. And right now, what we are seeing is that he might have the talent of a number 1 receiver, but he is not that.
He just doesn't have the big play ability, especially compared to his compatriot Deebo Samuel. Like when he gets the ball in his hand, like he's not going anywhere, honestly.
Which is hilarious for you to say that, because the thing is, if we're talking about like physical ability at the receiver position, I'm not mad at somebody who's like, yeah, give me Brandon Ayuk over Deebo. The issue that I have is that one guy, despite some of his physical deficiencies at the position, makes it work. And the other guy, who might be a little more talented than him, is not making it work, but somehow folks are giving him passes. This feels like Jerry Jeudy all over again.
Hey,
Like,
you want to know it's a great
Not
comp?
that level. Not
You want to
level.
know it's a great
It's
comp?
not as bad, but it feels like that.
You want to know it's a great comp for Brandon Ayuk? And I'm not saying the way he's playing right now, just over the course of his career. Brandon Ayuk and Brandon Cooks are the same guy.
Huh?
You don't think
Brandon
so?
Cooks is
No.
more of a explosive receiver.
Before we get too far
I
with
mean-
Brandon Cooks, the one thing I will say about Brandon Cooks, he might not have been great, but he has always been consistent. The problem that I have with Brandon Ayuk,
Yeah, like Mike Evans.
Ayuk is not. There's nothing consistent about this man.
Yeah.
Absolutely none.
Yes,
Like
it's a
I
speed.
want to say,
True.
Brandon Cooks went like 9 straight years of having 1,000 yards. Like he was productive. He was consistent. He might not have been, oh yeah, he's a top 10 receiver, but at the very least, there was a level of consistency throughout his career. The situation that I was like, you know what? That's a good receiver. I still haven't seen that from Brandon Ayuk, despite the talent, which is why I brought up the Jerry Jeudy thing. Because to me, we're still judging this dude off of potential. And one of the things that my dad always told me growing up was potential is some shit you ain't did yet.
Hey, and don't get it twisted. Brandon Cooks is making plays for Dallas this year. Like, he might not be putting up the stats, but he's making big plays for them this year.
Yeah, from honestly, Brandon Cooks is like has that thing that Brandon Ayuk is still missing. He has that big play ability that Brandon Ayuk just doesn't have right now from what I've seen. Like, he's a top route runner. He can get himself open. Like, he can get himself wide open for Brock Purdy. But when it comes to maybe it's Brock Purdy's deficiencies for not being able to throw it over the top, maybe that's a possibility. But I think it's more so the thing that Ayuk just doesn't have. I haven't seen the catching traffic ability that's like puts him in a certain conversations. I haven't seen the yak ability that puts him in the certain conversations. And his hands are good, but not his hands are like doesn't blow you out of the water. Like, they're good enough from what I've seen. So the route running, honestly, is the only thing that's really holding Ayuk in these conversations. Other than that, everything else is like good to average.
And that was wild. I don't know if Early's in here, if he's watching. That was a wild take, CeeDee Lamb over Brandon Ayuk. I'm still pissed off about that.
Be honest with y'all, a lot of y'all sleep on CD. Like, CD is closer to these wide receivers that we don't want to have these conversations about, but he dead is.
Yeah,
you can call it bias because I know him and I worked on him multiple times. That's my man. I'm no bias side. As a wide receiver, he's in these conversations that y'all don't want to have.
Oh, that's a fact.
As soon as you start targeting him.
Wait, what type of conversations are we having though?
I'm talking about like, oh, my dog JJ just pulled up.
Don't get that.
I'm saying like eventually, like top 7, top 8.
That's fair.
I see it's possible.
Same thing with Terry McLaurin. Even though I already think he's there. Like
Terry
Terry burned the hell out of James Bradbury the other day.
There's not much
James Bradbury is just toast.
There's really no.
They paid him too, man.
All I'm saying is, bro. Is that CD is closer than y'all favorite receivers, bro. Like, I know I know AJ Brown is bugging out and going for 130 every game. Literally going for 130 every game. He don't clear CD,
bro. But that's the thing, though, right?
He does clear.
You know who's eventually going to enter into certain conversations down the line, especially if he's a better quarterback? I honestly think, and maybe it's because he's on my fantasy team, so I watch him quite a bit. Drake London is so good, bro. I'm not going to lie. When I watch him, he can make the contested catches. He got the speed. Drake London is really one of the next ones, bro. I'm telling y'all.
Hey, Riddell, keep preaching that gospel, bro.
Drake London is cold. He's tough. I don't even know if real top 25 yet, but I digress.
I mean, what is he supposed to do? Arthur Smith.
Hey, who's that 25? Hey, Trent, who's 25 on your list?
I don't know, but I think you can name 25 receivers better.
Drake London is better than Chris Olave.
Who has a like top 25? They just know who 25 is.
Whoa, who said that?
Wait, hold
Drake
on.
London is better than Chris Olave for sure.
Huh?
That's not crazy. That's not crazy right now. Right now? No bias. That's not crazy right now.
Okay, hold on.
No bias. Right now, that's not bias.
No, I don't like.
Well, yeah, because Chris Olave.
If you say right, look. This is why I say JJ. This is why I say we're having two different arguments. Because you want to say right now, me personally, I don't care about that. Because if that's the case, then JJ, Kayvon Thibodeau is a top 3 edge rusher in the NFL, right?
At the moment, he might be top 5.
Do you think Kayvon Thibodeau is a top 5 edge rusher?
At the moment, he might be top 5.
No, in general.
You're joking.
He's not Ben Crosby, bro. I mean, like, there's certain. Hold on. Hear me. I get your point. Actually, I do. You know, I always do. The thing is, there's certain points where like those things correlate. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the edge rusher conversation doesn't fluctuate as much as like a receiver or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's like even if you were to say Kayvon Thibodeau is going up, Kayvon Thibodeau is now moving up on the rankings, if anything, if on how the edge rushers work versus like receiver. There's so many talented receivers, there's so many guys that are close to each other, way closer than people want to give them credit for, and not. And so that's why I think the receiver room in the list fluctuates way more than edge rusher.
We having some recency bias here because we all know what's going on with Chris Olave.
Okay, I will say that is recency bias.
Oh, you said okay. So
No, I've seen
for
enough.
me, what creates gaps in wide receivers is them as players. What do they do better than? What do they do better than the other? Like for example, I think peak D-Hop separates from a lot of people because I think he has the greatest hands of all time. That alone separates a lot of people. So that's just a one example.
Hey,
Yeah, but no, overall though, JJ, you know, Drake London's not better than Chris Olave.
I mean, hey, bro, I'm on record for saying that based off of what Drake London did last season, it's not his fault, but at the end of the day, what I seen you do last season was great wide receiver 2 production. You know what I'm saying? Not no wide receiver 1.
Just another perfect example. Josh Jacobs last year, bugging out.
I never thought he was up there.
Almost ran for 2K. He was playing better than a lot of these dudes.
Yeah, he was like top 7 going into this year.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was.
But he wasn't. But he was playing like a top 2 running back in the league last year.
No, but I do feel like I see what you're saying, Trent. I mean, it definitely takes a certain level of understanding. Okay, what am I looking at that makes them as good as they are? There are certain situations where I'm like, especially the running back position. Running back position's always so shaky because I've made the claim that other than tier 1 running backs, a lot of these running backs are very close in my opinion. I don't think there's a huge gap between a lot of running backs after tier 1. So I've already said that before on Player's Choice. But my thing with like when you look at certain things, like when I'm looking at Drake London and Chris Olave, because even Drake London, even if you want to say recency bias, Chris Olave has Derek Carr, Drake London is Desmond Ridder. So in terms of dealing, you say what?
Not much separates those 2 quarterbacks other than the fact that Derek Carr is more established.
Derek Carr can actually throw the ball down the field. Desmond Ridder.
What are we doing?
Anyways.
There's 2 words I have to tell you guys.
Go ahead, Josh.
Pete Carmichael. That's the problem.
Pete Carmichael. Good night.
Yeah, I'll just put it like this though, Riddell. With especially we've been talking about AJ Brown. What makes it hard for me to put just say he's a top 5 receiver is that I haven't seen any difference from him from last year to now, and I didn't have him top 5 in the list to now. So what would change? Unless me being the stat merchant, and y'all all know I'm not a stat merchant. I just can't do that. That's what I'm saying. I don't see bro getting. He's been the same receiver since his Tennessee.
It depends on what you value, to be honest.
Bro, I don't know, bro. Trent. So Trent, what were you seeing in Tennessee? What were you seeing in Tennessee that you feel like didn't change?
No.
I'm saying breaking it down. What he does. What do you think?
I'm saying AJ Brown, his route running has always been cool. His route running has been the same. His contested catching was always like that. Just that he played with Ryan Tannehill. But when you seen him when he actually throwing the ball deep, he was snagging on people. The prime example was what's the name? The Bengals game in the playoffs when Burrow got sacked. How many times? 9 times? He was tweaking. He was tweaking in that game. And the same thing he's doing right now, you see it in Philly. This is a jersey change, and he's on a better team.
But okay, so you're saying contested catching and route running. But I'm saying keep going. Break it down.
What do you think?
I think his deep play. I think his deep play ability is the same. His deep threat ability is the same. His yak. He's always been a yak demon.
We know he was in contention with him and Debo for the best yak.
Yeah,
receivers at one point when he was in Tennessee.
Yeah, he's always been this yak guy. He's been like that since Ole Miss, bro. He's always been like that.
Right.
So AJ Brown's best abilities were just there in Tennessee. Is that I think he didn't get the recognition because one, he also got hurt, and then 2, he's on a different team. And you see a 1,500-yard season, and people think that he got better, which I don't think he did.
So okay, what Trevor just said in the comments is also true, but I wanted to go on even further. One. When it came to yak ability, we already knew. I feel like everyone in the league. I think everyone, if you actually weren't if you weren't just a idiot, everyone could say that him and yak. That was always him and Debo. That was a conversation until more receivers started entering the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But at that moment in time when he was in Tennessee, it was just him and Debo. That's all you kept hearing left and right. Who's the better yak receiver? Oh yeah, Debo clears him or blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? And we get that. You feel me? And so we already knew AJ Brown was elite at that. So if you were going to now he's on the Eagles and starting to use that or say he got better at you can't get much better at doing something that you're already great at, especially when it just comes to yak, right?
I was gonna say when it comes to once you in the top 15, you can move up from there because it's not that many. It ain't that many separators.
Hey, I got
but
look.
But once you get to these top 5 combos and these guys that stay produce at the same level and they're not regressing on that, if they stay the same, I don't see how he would be better than you.
Okay.
So here's what I wanted to say
rank?
about the other thing about AJ. I feel like you low-key, because I will say in Tennessee versus now, if you're actually watching them get off the line, it's better. His physicality is a thing that's always going to stay the same. But him being able to get it down in the short and intermediate game is one of the things that progress in my eyes with AJ Brown versus a lot of things. We already knew his deep playability, but he, like Trevor said, it wasn't being able to show consistency.
Okay, so how much
in Tennessee? But I'm saying now, what'd you say?
Do you think that his short and
Yeah, your voice.
it will move up? What's up, Mookie? But hold on, give me a second. But you think his short and intermediate game increased that much where he says he's gonna have a combo between him and Diggs?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he got that much better as a receiver
He's better than
in those
Diggs.
areas.
He's better than
In
Diggs.
those areas,
Okay,
it's most definitely a conversation. But
Bro, he's better.
me-
He's already better than Diggs, bro. Like,
All
I don't
right,
even know what you're doing.
Mookie,
Bro.
we all know you the stat merchant, bro. You know he's not better than you, bro.
Yes, he
Here's
is.
my thing.
Okay.
Go ahead, go on.
He's a better red zone threat. He has better hands.
No, he's not.
Not only that, he has better hands. He's better with the yak ability. And on top of that, bro, for over the last 2 years, he produced more catches, more yards, and he single-handedly changed that
Mookie.
Eagles offense as
Yo,
well.
Mookie,
bro.
let me ask you this.
What are you
Let me
talking
ask you this, Mookie. Does 2 yards move you between a receiver? 2 yards?
It's more, so yes.
So wait, come out, Mookie. 2 yards. I'm actually one more question again. Does 2 yards, not 20, not 500, 2? Because AJ Brown had what? 1498. Diggs had what? 1496. What? Like, because when y'all bring up this production, this is where y'all start losing me with receivers.
All
bro.
right. So then I come and ask you this: who's a better gunslinger, Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts?
They're both elite quarterbacks, but I can say Josh Allen.
Okay, Josh Allen. Okay. Stephon Diggs has a luxury of playing in a passing offense that literally passing the ball 55 to 60
Wait, hold on, Trey. I
times.
got him.
So when you
And
pass
AJ
the ball
Brown
55 to 60 times compared to a running offense, it shouldn't be a 2-yard gap for AJ Brown. And
That's
playing in
cap.
an offense where
That's
he's getting more
you know why?
targets.
AJ
and
Brown also
assistance, bro.
benefits of being with the best O-line in the league, one of the best run games. So you can't just stack
And he
on
benefits
And
for
a
being
great
with
play
a big
caller
arm.
last
and he
quarterback.
also benefits playing with Smitty right next to him. Diggs doesn't have that. He has Gabe Davis. Doodoo.
Gabe Davis is good.
Overall, no
Why
bad.
you act like Gabe Davis ain't good, bro?
He's doodoo.
He's not
No,
good.
Compared to
He's not good.
Devontae Smith, he's nowhere near. He's nowhere
If
near.
Devontae Smith is a
Okay,
10, Gabe
that's true.
Davis is
All
a
right,
1.
but this is the thing. Okay, so if this y'all prove my point. So if you playing in an offense where there's no secondary wide receiver, right? That means there's more targets for him.
But
So
you can
his
also
stats are inflated.
I can also say it makes it harder for Stefon Diggs to get off because he doesn't have that many people around him. And you just have to throw the ball to him. And he gets open. He's a top 3 route runner in the game.
Yeah, but when you have a dual threat quarterback in Josh Allen, he has the ability to extend plays with his legs.
And when you're with the team, and when you're with the team that has a top 5 running game, the best O-line in the league, and also another top 10, top 12 receiver right next to you, that's going to help.
But imagine if they throw the football
year.
65, 60 times and Jalen Hurts is single-handedly just targeting AJ Brown every single time. What do you think his numbers would be, bro? His numbers would be off the
basically
roof.
doing that right now.
Okay, that's right now, but I'm talking about last year when they had the running game going, when they had elite level offensive line and stuff like that, right? They was primarily a running team. So the fact that AJ Brown is still able to accumulate the stats and he's not playing in a pass happy offense that Stefon Diggs had the luxury of playing in, and the fact that the numbers and the production is almost nearly identical, yeah, AJ Brown has been better the last.
Wait, but do you not?
This year he's playing in a pass heavy offense.
Wait,
yeah, this year you say, but last year he did.
Okay, all right.
Stefon Diggs always played in a pass happy offense.
Okay, all right.
You feel like the Eagles' offense right now? Okay, bro. I guess you don't watch the Eagles right now.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
I do watch the Eagles. I watch them frauds.
Let me go because me and you have had plenty of arguments about AJ Brown in particular. Because I said before this, I've been high on AJ Brown since he was in freaking Tennessee. The issue that I had is that he had a bum at quarterback and it wasn't going well. The issue is what he was asked to do in Tennessee versus what he's been asked to do now in Philly are two different things, but we still have a picture mentally of what he was in Tennessee, which is you're running short digs, you're running crossers, you're running these things that don't really allow you to show us that you can really run routes and get open the same way that some of your colleagues can. He can do it, and he can do it while being 30 pounds heavier than most of those guys, which matters. Your ability as a receiver to be able to stop on a dime and run the same routes that your colleagues can, but you're 30 pounds heavier?
That don't mean no.
Yes, Trent.
I'm saying
that means something, bro.
If
you don't make you better than Diggs, though.
Trent, I'm not saying he's better than Diggs. What I'm saying is
the same tier. Stand by it.
Okay, cool. If you want to say same tier, I'm not mad at it. I don't really care about ranking these dudes. All I'm saying is, if we're going to talk about top receivers in the league, I said last year he needed to be there because the only reason why we weren't having this conversation sooner is because he was being held back by Ryan Tannehill in that offense.
That's crazy, bro.
I just hate when people bring up, oh, he's in a pass happy offense. Like AJ Brown don't got pieces around.
He is in a pass happy offense.
AJ Brown has one of the best situations in football too. Like what do you like I said, to me, it's harder to what Stefon Diggs is doing right now because he's getting off with no premier talent right now.
He's getting
I agree with Trent. I agree with that.
Hold up.
What are we talking about here?
One thing that we didn't bring up either.
I think Diggs is better, but that's another.
One thing we didn't mention either. Last year, when AJ Brown had that big year, he's having a big year this year as well. Don't get it twisted. But he had one of the best play callers in football. Shane Steichen's one of the best play callers in football. Absolutely. 5 to 10 play callers in football. That's another thing that was working in his favor as well.
Yeah, but my thing, once you start arguing the thing with Diggs, part of the reason why I have trouble putting AJ Brown, I have a problem putting AJ Brown ahead of Diggs because, like Trent brought up earlier, if we're talking about somebody who changed a situation, because both were brought into their teams to change a situation with young quarterbacks. The difference is the situation that he was brought in Philly was a much more complete situation than what's going on in Buffalo right now.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely.
Can I interject on that real quick?
Can
I interject on that real quick?
Go for it.
Go ahead,
to Trey's point, he is absolutely right because there's no other second receiver on Buffalo right now. They can't really run the ball. Up until this year when they got James Cook from my Georgia Bulldogs.
Gabe Davis.
Wait a minute.
Gabe Davis on any other team is a wide receiver 3, bro.
Wait, just keep going, champ.
So, I mean, he was asked to change it, and they're double teaming Diggs every time. You can almost rest assured that.
Facts.
Not only that, like I said, Buffalo. When's the last time they had a running game?
Shady.
So they got to live and die by the right arm of Josh Allen, excuse me. And they got to live, and they got to hope that Stefon Diggs can get open to catch that ball. Gabe Davis, I like him. He's not a Pro Bowler. He's not an All-Pro.
But he's still
he's not a world beater.
Good receiver.
Not even a top 50 receiver. So
exactly. Like
James Cook cannot. James Cook, Devin Singletary, those guys are not world beaters at the running back position.
All right, so let me ask you something. What was
the run game this year? Is actually
what was AJ Brown's secondary wide receiver in Tennessee?
You keep bringing up Gabe Davis. We're comparing him to what AJ Brown has.
Devontae Smith.
And he has Devontae Smith right next to him. And Dallas Goedert. That's what I was about to say.
So you telling me they don't double? You telling me they don't double? You telling me they don't double team AJ Brown with Smith?
They don't. Okay, listen.
He doesn't get double teamed as much as.
He doesn't get double teamed as much as Stefon Diggs.
He still get double teamed.
AJ Brown gets double teamed, but not to the extent of.
You can't afford to double team because you got to worry about the other guy on the other side.
You also have to.
When you watch the Eagles offense, They would double AJ Brown. They would double AJ Brown towards like the middle of the field, bro, and they would leave Devontae Smith wide open on the outside, bro.
What are you
They
talking
would
about?
concede
I
Devontae
see
Smith being
AJ
one
Brown
on one.
open all the time.
What are
in the
you
middle of the
talking
field.
about? I see him in one-on-one.
I don't see AJ Brown
Mad
that
time.
much.
No,
What are you
bro,
talking
I
about?
Them
literally just
mainly
got done
man-to-man
watching
coverage. You
3
can't
Did
double
you
team
not watch
because
the
you have to
Washington
worry about
game?
both of them.
bro, they were. I'm talking about he gets double teamed. Like, what do y'all don't?
Okay, so
Bro,
let me
you
ask you
talk-
something.
No, he gets
Mookie,
double teamed. He doesn't get double teamed instead of Stefon
Mookie,
Diggs.
who gets double more? Stefon Diggs or AJ Brown?
It's Stefon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs, but my point of the matter is this. My point, it's not, but that's not making him better though. Like
No,
AJ
this,
Brown,
okay. I
AJ
think
Brown's
when it
physical
comes to
ability, his yak ability, his him being a threat in the red zone, him being a better
Stephon
catcher,
Diggs is an
better
elite red
hand.
zone third receiver.
He's
That
just
that's a
better than
new
his
point,
team,
bro. Why? I don't know why y'all bringing up red zone. Like Stephon Diggs is still not one of the best red zone receivers. That's a mute point.
He's not better than AJ Brown, bro.
It's a mute point because it's still
It's
the
not a
same.
mute point.
I mean,
because
I
if
think
need-
AJ Brown's better,
If
but
I need a receiver,
Okay.
if I need a receiver on line up on the outside, and I need and they want like a fade route in the red zone, bro. Who is I'm throwing it up to?
Bro, you
I'm
talking
throwing
about
it
a
to goddamn
fade ball,
AJ
bro.
Brown, bro.
Wait, Mookie,
bro,
you know this- Mookie,
that's
you know this-
like
wait, hold on.
that's like one
Mookie, you know
aspect
what I'm
What he
saying, bro?
does.
Wait, Mookie, this is why I be saying, bro, you're chatting because you know there's multiple routes you can run in the red zone. It doesn't have to be just a fade ball, bro. You're chatting.
Okay, so you
Not to-
every route.
Hey.
If you want to slant, I give you
You
AJ Brown.
going with Stephon Diggs.
Hey, hold on. Every route
What
that
are
you
you
want to
talking
run from
about?
AJ Brown.
Versus Stefon Diggs so vertical punting for the
He's one
second touchdown. But he doesn't.
Hold on. Who's been a better red zone offense this year? Has it been the Eagles or has it been the Bills?
You're comparing the whole offense, not just one receiver.
We're talking about
so
Stefon Diggs and AJ Brown.
compare-
Bills
so
versus
So
Eagles.
compare AJ Brown in the red zone and compare his percentages and his catch rate in the red zone and compare it to goddamn Stephon Diggs. I
You don't
guarantee
even
you
have
Hey,
that
AJ Brown.
stat right
goddamn,
there.
hey,
That's
goddamn
literally
Luke.
all situational and context based, bro. Like you gotta like look at both sides, bro.
Like, I don't-
Bro, that's like
Aaron-
saying Mike
Aaron
Evans
looking
is
at both
that's
sides.
like saying Mike Evans is better than Stefon Diggs because he can run a fade touchdown like in the
Yeah,
red.
like,
and-
what are you
Don't
talking
compare
about?
no
Bro.
Mike Evans to no AJ Brown.
Hey,
What are you talking about?
goddamn Mook. I gotta say something. to
The logic
you. Yo, so you're saying like, okay, if you ask AJ Brown to run a fade, like you trust him more, like yeah, he does that better than Stephon Diggs. But if I gotta ask one of the two receivers to run like a China route or something like that, I'm
China
taking Diggs every single day of the week.
No,
Just
that's
because you're saying they can run one route better doesn't mean that they're better
we-
within the red zone because there's multiple
Can we agree,
routes
though,
you can
that-
run in the red zone.
Can we at least agree though that they're in the same tier?
Yeah, if you want to say they're in the same
That's
tier,
fair.
Yeah, they're on the same tier, but I'm saying give me AJ Brown.
Because I don't think it is, but I think Stephon Diggs is comfortably better than him.
okay.
No, he's not. That's just
Mookie, I'm not gonna lie,
Come on,
Mookie.
goddamn Mook.
Mookie, you told me AJ Brown was an elite route runner and he had the best hands in the league. So you just
he
lied about it.
he is elite route runner.
No, he's not. If you
AJ
think-
Brown
Yes, he is.
If you think AJ Brown is an elite,
Yes.
if you
Is
think
He's a
AJ
good
Brown-
route runner.
If you think
He's a good
AJ
route
Brown,
runner,
wait,
not
Mookie,
I don't
you
know
think
what
AJ
agenda
Brown is
you're
a top
pushing,
10 route runner in this game?
When I look at route running, I look at a receiver's ability to get separation, a receiver's ability to run
Shut
routes
up,
in the red
That's
zone
separation
or comeback
routes.
routes.
Pure
It's the
offense.
ability
It's not running a route.
Bro,
That's
bro,
not
bro,
relief.
I'm looking at the release.
AJ
I'm
Brown
looking at the ability to run
crazy.
routes. So when you combine all of that, AJ Brown is an elite route runner. Not only that, he has
What are
one
you
of the best.
talking about,
He
bro?
has one of the best hands. He has one of the
They're
best
talking about
hands in the league, and he's a contested catcher as well.
Bro,
Even talking about terms of comeback route.
Time out.
And on top of that, bro, when he's running vertical routes downfield,
You talking
in the
about a
middle-
vertical route? Every receiver knows how to run a vertical route. That's why
Okay,
you
so
don't,
what I'm
you
saying-
don't know what you're
Okay,
talking
I
about.
can run a vertical
hold on.
right
That's why I said. Hold on. That's why I said there and said like when he got to come back because Jalen Hurts is underthrowing this motherfucker, and he has to come back and make
my
stuff that
I'm not gonna lie. That was funny. That was funny.
That just shows you that AJ Brown is just supremely talented.
Yo. I have a question.
right
Though.
now.
Wait, okay. I have a question. Do you think AJ Brown's a top 10 route runner in the league?
I
Yes.
can name you 15 easily.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is what I be saying, bro. You don't know what you're talking about.
Bro,
Go over it. Is he
Oh,
better
bro.
than Tay?
AJ
No, I
Brown.
got it.
Go
I got
over
it.
guys.
I'm gonna find my list. I can just easily find
AJ
my-
Brown's a good route runner. He's not a top.
Is AJ Brown even the top? Let me not, because I don't even know, bro.
He-
Yeah, you don't
Hey,
don't
hey,
say
I'll
lies like
say
that.
I'll say this.
He's
very
elite. AJ Brown like that,
15 route runners better right now.
I can hold on. I can hold on.
And here's the thing with AJ Brown.
Wait, watch this. I can name like 13 off the rip, and then Josh, you can keep going. Listen, let me just start off on the first one. So easily, Tay, Amari Cooper, Stefon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Keenan Allen, Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Ayuk.
Keenan Allen.
Are you dumb?
Are you dumb?
No.
Are you dumb?
Whoa.
Are you dumb?
Yo. Hey.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's
That's like Keenan Allen's thing.
CeeDee Lamb, Smitty, Deontay Johnson, Garrett Wilson. Those are all ripped that are
You didn't
way
even say
better.
Ayuk. You didn't even say
No,
Ayuk.
he did.
Run pro as well.
Oh, you did?
He did say right.
I didn't even say Calvin Ridley. That's
You
four.
said Calvin Ridley.
Hey Trent.
Calvin
how-
Ridley
so how you
nowadays, I
define-
don't know.
How
He
you
didn't say
define
Chris
route runner,
Godwin.
Trent?
Calvin Ridley's not that great nowadays.
How do I define
Yes, how do you judge players running better routes or being a better route
I
runner?
think release comes into play. I think getting in and out and breaks especially getting in and out of their breaks for real.
I was about to say.
I agree.
It's really getting in and out of breaks and really selling. I think selling
I was about to say this is a conversation that's way more about film study and actually watching these guys move as opposed to any kind of numbers you can pull up. This is about your ability to
route running is straight.
Part of the reason why I struggle a little bit with you, Trent. Yo, that's all right. Anyway, part of the reason why I struggle with you, Trent, when it comes to AJ Brown and his route running, I don't like the way you drag it sometimes.
I don't even talk about route running like that. I don't think it's not elite. He's a good route runner.
But I do think he is an elite route runner. He just gets it done in a different way. And we had this conversation. We were talking about him versus Terry McLaurin because a lot of the guys that do it that we call elite route runners, there's a specific way that they do it. They're doing the crossover at the line of scrimmage. They're dipping through guys as opposed to him just being a more physical guy and being able to do some of those same movements, but also just being able to play through contact, which is something that some of his colleagues can't do.
I got a question for you. I got a question.
Hey, let me ask you something, Trent, before you go. Do you think Michael Thomas in his prime was an elite route runner?
Yes.
Yes. It's a top 5 route runner when he played.
Yes.
Okay.
He's a top 5 route runner.
Okay. Trey, I'm gonna ask you this question that's going to dead the conversation because I think this person is clearly a better route runner than AJ Brown. Do you think Jamar Chase is an elite route runner?
Yes.
That's what no. I don't think he is. Because I'm not gonna lie, if you think Jamar Chase is an elite route runner, he damn near the best receiver in the league. I
have him really high.
Yeah, I have him like top 5. But I'm saying though, like I don't think Jamar is an elite route runner yet.
My thing with the conversation.
So who's a better route runner right now, Michael Thomas or AJ Brown?
Bro,
AJ
what?
Brown.
Michael Thomas is washed.
Yeah,
Michael Thomas's legs are.
My thing when it comes to route running, I do think obviously technique is great and everything, but the only two things that matter to me is separation. And when it comes down to this conversation, the two things that matter to me is how well you separate from obviously the defense, and if you can't separate as well, how well you deal with catching traffic. Obviously,
this is literally the conversation me and Cowboy just had about CD Eagles Nation. What are you talking about? Why do y'all act like CeeDee Lamb is a Monron St. Brown who's a slot boy?
And I
don't know.
Hold on. All you got to do is ask yourself, what is CD Lamb most effective in the field?
Everywhere.
Is it a slot or is outside?
Everywhere.
You got to pick one. Pick one. It's the slot.
Bro, why are we acting like CeeDee Lamb is bad on the outside? He's actually
I'm saying, why are we acting like CeeDee Lamb is a Monron St. Brown who lines him in the slot 90% of his times?
That offense opened up when they started playing him as the X receiver. They've been playing him in the slot and Z and having Michael Gallup on the outside and playing X receiver.
So even
ever since they started playing CeeDee Lamb as the X receiver, things have opened up for that offense.
Even the coaching staff realized that, bro, CeeDee Lamb's best ability is like, let's put him on the slot and have Michael Gallup on the outside, bro, because they really thought.
No, it wasn't. You know why that didn't happen? Mookie, did you see what he just did the other day when he was on the outside? He went for $162 TDs and 12 receptions. He was on the majority on the outside.
I didn't say he's a bad outside receiver, but I'm saying that's not a bad take of him saying that, he's more effective on the slot.
No, he literally said he gets open. He has to. It's certain ways for CD to get open. No, I'm saying CD gets open regardless.
That's not
You
true.
can even look at the Packers game when he was frying Jair Alexander on the outside. I don't know.
Not gonna lie, a lot of people have been frying Jair this year. Not gonna lie.
No, that's not true. It's not a lot of people been frying Jair.
No.
He hasn't been.
Hey, Trent.
Yo, yeah, this.
You can save a lot of niggas right now. My nigga Jair, he ain't been looking.
Yeah, Jair's been kind of
He
good.
hasn't been that good, man.
Man, bro, Jordan Addison.
I was told
Really?
he was better than Lattimore, but
Jair Alexander is way better than Marshall Lattimore. Shush.
no, he's not. He's not way better. See, you always doing that shit, bro.
What you not
You
saying?
always doing that, bro. He is not no way better than no Marshawn Lattimore, bro. Oh, you just hate every player from the Saints, bro. You a Saints hater, bro.
You were the
love
same
every
guy
player
that-
from the Saints.
Mook's the same person that literally said like 2 weeks ago, Marshall Lattimore been getting cooked. I can't put him in the top 5. Shut up.
I was just mad because he got.
Well, he's
he got
not top 5.
Hold on. He
He's
got
not even
cooked by.
top 10.
He got cooked by the unknown receivers in the Houston Texans game. But what I'm saying is that for the most part, Marshawn Lattimore lines up on everywhere. He lines up on the slot. He lines up outside. He gives your favorite. Hold on. He gives your favorite wide receiver nightmares every single time. Not only that, you know what Marshawn Lattimore is? Marshawn Lattimore is one of the best best cornerbacks that's playing man to man. He's a great man to man. Yes, he is.
Yo, let's be honest. Marshawn Lattimore is only good against Mike Evans.
See, that's another casual take, bro.
Hey,
Talking, bro.
Mookie, I want to test something, bro. This season, who's been better, Marshawn Lattimore or Deron Bland?
Lie. I dare you to lie.
You tell my mister I'm in the right place at right.
I'll say.
Yeah, y'all are so weird. I know y'all are weird.
That's crazy.
I'm under Ron Bland's picks, but he's just at the right place.
But hold on, Cowboys piece. Why you
said
why you
Trayvon
think
Diggs
he's better?
too?
I'm saying this season, who has been the better cornerback out of the two?
Oh, no,
Marshawn Lattimore or Deron Bland?
Hey, Josh, you know what? Don't even give context because Mookie's a production guy. He's the
Oh
same
yeah,
person.
yeah.
He's the same person who says he's the same
You're
person who
finished.
says, "Oh,
You're finished.
Myles Garrett can't be better than Nick Bosa because Nick Bosa gets more sacks because he
Yeah,
can't
you're
evaluate players." So
Even
he's
though
I'm sorry.
even though Nick Bosa doesn't have more sacks than Myles Garrett right now, but I digress.
Last year he did. Yes, last year he did. Last year he had. Nick Bosa last year had more sacks.
Yeah,
and
I'm
he
not
had
gonna lie.
more
Kayvon
pressure.
Thibodeau's better than Nick Bosa.
Matter of fact, that
No, he's not.
matter of fact,
Man,
that
shut up, bro. You just
Hold
talking,
on.
bro.
Matter of fact, that transitions into the next topic because we were talking. We're talking about Monday Night Football. The Lions kind of struggle against the Raiders, but it's time to start putting some respect on Max Crosby. And I'm not gonna hold you. We're gonna have to start. We're gonna start having these conversations that y'all don't want to have.
Yup.
He's closer to TJ Watt than what y'all think, and he might be better than Nick Bosa. He might.
No,
be.
he's
He's talking to y'all. He talking to y'all.
Woo! Hey, I gotta stop this, bro.
No, we don't. We ain't got to stop.
Yeah.
Nick Bosa
Can I say
clears.
something about Max Crosby real quick?
Go ahead, Karen, go ahead.
He's one of the only 4 players to have like 100 pressures in one season.
I'm saying Max Crosby's been bugging.
Is Nick Bosa one of those players?
Nope.
All right, name the players on that list.
I don't. It's Aaron Donald. I think it's Aaron Donald twice, and I don't know the other player.
Also, you said it's Aaron Donald twice, and then Max Crosby and who else? You probably don't know.
I don't know the other player.
What I'm saying is though, because Max Crosby is one of the best passers in the league, and he's one of the best run stuffers in the league. Like he's been bugging, and he only
You saw that.
he's
Trent.
really
Hold on.
good,
Yes,
bro.
But Trent, you gotta understand this, Trent. It's levels to this, bro.
ain't no levels, bro. What are you talking
It's
about?
levels to this, bro.
You just
Max
said, bro, you said-
Crosby's in that
See,
level.
bro, let's be real. Let's be real. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Nick Bosa is 2 levels above Max Crosby.
No, he's
Bro,
not.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's
And I'm
not.
gonna say this, right?
You don't
I'm
know
gonna
what
say
you're
this,
talking about.
He's a better run stopper.
bro.
Not
This is
only
not
that,
it.
he uses finesse much better than
Every
Max
day and using a
Crosby.
finesse, basically.
Hold on. And he's a
Have you
better
seen Max
speed
Crosby's
pass
back?
rusher.
Yo,
He's a
Trent, I
better
got a
speed.
bounce.
He's
All right,
a
bro.
better speed. He's a better speed pass rusher than Max Crosby as well. What are we talking about here, bro?
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't have a better pass rusher. He for sure
Yes,
don't
he
have
is. He's a better speed. Now I would give you Max Crosby might be a better power rusher, But Nick Bosa's a better speed rusher, bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
Better speed rusher.
The fact that you said that don't even. I know you don't watch.
What the fuck is a power rusher?
Like
A guy that gets to the side.
Basically, everything that Miles Garrett is and then more. You can see everything Aaron Donald is and more. Everything that Chris Jones is and more.
Oh, so basically a bull rusher?
Mookie, you think that Max Crosby's a bull rush merchant?
I didn't say it. You see how you try to do, bro.
Bro, you asked the question. That's a good
Oh
No,
man.
I'm just.
Hey,
I'm,
Trey, you try to. Hey, you funny, bro.
I'm just saying, like, what?
He close to it.
Why is Nick Bosa 2 tiers ahead of?
Bro, because you know
Because
why?
he's done it on a higher level, bro.
I'm gonna answer. Let me answer. Karen, you know why people think, or people like Mookie think that he's 2 tiers above? Because he won an award. He won a Defensive Player of the Year. This is the same.
Very rare for somebody to win.
There's a lot of people who overrate.
Very rare for somebody to win that.
For example, TJ Watt. Everybody think that TJ
Kill on
Watt.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, no, it's a fact, Karen. Just keep, because you know how people think about TJ Watt. Oh, he had the 22 sacks and he won DPOY. People thought that he's clearly the best edge rusher in the league, and he's not even better than Myles Garrett.
I know.
That's what people do.
With
When
Pittsburgh,
you win it,
there's plenty of times. With Pittsburgh, it's more so the system than it is the player, because they really.
I disagree with TJ Watt.
I've said that plenty of times.
The
thing is,
because
every single pass rusher that they've came in and brought in, even if they was a 1-year wonder, they've been able to come in and reel them off. They don't miss them when they go. They replace them right off the rip. Think about it. Greg Lloyd. I know Pittsburgh history. My father's a Pittsburgh fan. Greg Lloyd leaves. Greg Lloyd's all pro. Greg Lloyd leaves.
Hold on.
Greg Lloyd leaves. Jason Gildon takes his spot. Becomes the all-time leader in Steelers history for sacks. He leaves. Joey Porter comes in. All-time leader in Pittsburgh for sacks. Okay. Joey Porter leaves. James Harrison comes in. He breaks the record. Then people forgot about Jason Worrells. He came in and had double-digit sacks.
Damn,
Then now you have TJ Watts. He comes in and have a couple double-digit sack seasons. So when it comes to Pittsburgh, it's more the system than it is the player.
Undisputed. Undisputed.
Hey, champ, let's not forget Lamar Willie either.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm just
undisputed. My cousin, the greatest defensive player that ever played for the.
My thing is though.
but hold on. But what he said though,
Rodwood.
I think TJ Watt is the exception, because I've seen TJ Watt not play, and we cannot create any pressure. And there's literally a 7-week stretch we didn't even go out without a sack. So I understand where you're coming from.
And y'all say he better than Nick.
They're great. They make great pass rushers. You could also argue that when Lamar Woodley was there, James Harrison there, the teams were better constructed defensively, because they also had other great players on that team. I think TJ Watt is the only exception, because I do think he's better than all of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think TJ Watt is nice, but I'm not gonna lie though.
I wanna put. Go ahead.
Hey, Trent,
listen. I will say this: I have TJ Watt as edge 3. I am probably the least biased Steelers fan. So.
Hey,
go ahead.
I gotta ask you
go ahead
this,
and
Trent.
finish.
Hey, Trent, I gotta ask you this, Trent. We gotta start having a conversation
about.
Did y'all see what happened today, bro?
Today,
it's about to get spooky with that defense, bro.
Oh, we already talked.
Oh, Chase Young.
We already talked about the San Francisco Cowboys. We already talked about it.
No.
You talking about the Justice League?
Hey, bro,
guys,
hey,
I have
bro.
a question.
You added another prolific pass rush on the outside.
Prolific pass rush.
Prolific. Elite. Yes, prolific is insane.
I have a question. I know we're bringing Max Crosby in these conversations. When are we gonna put Aiden Hutchinson in these conversations?
Next year.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though
he's almost there.
Yeah, we know what happened with me and bro, but Aiden don't clear Kayvon.
Yes, he does.
I don't think he do. You think
he does?
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm not jumping off of that yet. But actually, next year, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's gonna be a sizable gap between.
Josh, no trolling aside, you actually think he clear him?
Yes. That Jets game does not move me, man.
No, but he's been
Bro.
tweaking though. He's been tweaking. It's not.
Yeah,
even
he's
just-
been tweaking, but like, bro, I'm being.
I mean, that Jets
Hey,
game
I
put
want to
him
go
over
back
the
to this because
edge,
now Josh
though.
is here, so I
Like-
think he can help like
Yeah.
back up what I'm saying.
But
But
what's up?
you said this year, right, Josh? Josh, this year specifically, when it came to double team rate and all this other stuff, when it came to TJ Watt, right?
Yeah, he was like,
Even though he's causing a lot of pressures, he was like one of the least double people on
Yeah,
his team, or if
yeah.
not the league, right?
Yeah.
Relative,
yeah, he's not even the
relative
most
to
double
all
on the
the-
team. It's Alex Highsmith.
Like literally relative to all
Shut
the
up!
starting edge rushers in the league.
And so
Go
no,
on,
I'm
talk about
going
it.
back further though. I'm about to go back further. But prior to this, those couple seasons before he got hurt and stuff like that, he was one of the more double people on his team, correct?
On his team,
In
Yeah, honestly.
2021, he was.
but
Really,
But y'all
relative
say
to the
he
league
better
too.
than Nick Bosa. That's
relative to the
crazy.
league,
I think
If you remember, if you don't remember, I mean, we could just find this out later. But
he wasn't. I would have to check to be honest.
I'll check right now.
yeah, I'll have to check.
so if what I'm saying, because I remember, even though this is going out of memory, that's why I'm asking someone to fact check that though, is the fact that even though TJ Watt at this point of his career, is one of the least double people on his own team, which is low-key a little crazy to me. With a dude that causes that much pressure, y'all sitting there not trying to double him is also just wild to me. Unless you got a guy like Cam Hayward, and now a dude like Alex Highsmith, right, that y'all saying is coming up. You see, the thing about what Champ said, right, which I low-key agree with, is on the system thing. But what we're not realizing, or what we're not pushing for, is the fact that a guy like Alex Highsmith could have also just been a bright part of that system as well, right? You know what I'm saying? And a guy like TJ Watt, even though like you said, he does get pushed to be overrated. Like he's not better than Myles Garrett by any means, by any facet.
Or Nick Bosa. Say his name.
Honestly speaking, he's not better than Nick Bosa. Real talk, he's not. But
How you can be better than Nick Bosa when you're not even the most double team player in your
but
team?
that doesn't.
my
Yeah,
goodness,
I'm saying
bro.
that doesn't
Don't you
change what I was
ever
about to
mention
say
that
about
Wait,
Nick
Mookie,
Bosa.
let him finish.
him not being doubled. I feel like if anything, sometimes, bro, you look at what the league is doing, stuff like that. They just don't use logic, bro. Like there's some things that just don't make sense to the outside looking in. You got to talk to coaches. I'm not. Wait, hold up. I'm not. Just hear me on this.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, but prior to this season and before, he was still one of the most feared guys on the field. He still is, and he was one of the people that was actually
Can't see
being
that.
attacked the most
Hold on.
by defenses. They were game planning for him. Now at this point, I don't know what the difference is, and I really would have to look and see why teams are doing this. Maybe because they don't even go towards his way or something like that. Because that could be a thing too. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't always happen. You feel me? But so the way I look at it is TJ Watt,
Yeah, Nick Bosa.
him and Max Crosby are in the same area. Nick Bosa, what Mookie said, I don't know, is actually too crazy. I think him and Myles Garrett, and Nick Bosa are on a tier above the rest of these edge rushers. And after that, the rest of these.
I think Nick Bosa is like the Patrick Mahomes of DNs.
Bro, if you think Nick Bosa
What
is
are
the best
we
edge,
talking
wait,
about?
bro, if you think Nick Bosa is the best edge in the league, you on crack cocaine. He's not.
Well,
he's not.
I think you're crack cocaine
Pat-
thinking Myles Garrett.
There's nothing Nick Bosa does better than Myles Garrett. Now you're gonna talk.
Yes, he does. He's a better run stopper, and on top of
No,
that,
he's
bro,
not.
yes, he is. He is a better run
What?
stopper. Yes, he is.
He's a better run stopper than Myles. Go ahead.
You said Nick Bosa could run stopper.
I wanna say something about
Hold on.
Gosh,
Y'all love the double team stat.
Are you fried?
Nick Bosa's not more double than Myles Garrett.
Are you fried? Like,
Yo.
are you fried in here?
Can I say something about TJ Watt?
Go for
Go
it.
ahead, bro.
The only thing I don't like about the double team thing is that because I've seen like in 2021 that like TJ Watt was like one of the most double team edges and he put up 22.5 sacks. So I still think that TJ Watt, when he is double team, can be as effective. Like, I'm not saying like onto the level of Micah Parsons or like Myles Garrett.
What
but,
proof
like,
do you have that?
Using portability, bro, I'm not gonna lie. You can put TJ Watt in a couple of different schemes, and I feel like he can still produce at a very high level.
I found the chart. I found the chart for 2020.
Yo, Trent, I sent you the double team rate of like 20.
Yeah, no, I see. Myles Garrett is the most double.
Bro, he was at average. Mid.
Oh yeah. And then what's his name? TJ Watt that year, he was doubled a lot too. But I'm
At
just
the
saying,
same time, like I can see when you like y'all keep on bringing up this double team stuff, and I hear you, but at the same time, if people are not double teaming him, that's their fault.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I said there's like sometimes there's logic. I don't get logic
I'm
sometimes.
gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not. I don't want us to circle back. It's kind of sound like the Sauce argument that when he's not traveling, guarding wide receiver twos, If they just on him, they just on him. That can't be a plea, bro. I'm
Bro,
sorry.
no, it's not a plea. But look, if your
like
coach,
that too,
that's like the sauce thing. If your coach is telling you, sitting there, not letting you travel, even though they know you're the best guy, right? Look, just hear me. I'm not even mad at it. But they know you're the best guy. They know you're the best guy, but they're not letting you travel. Bro, it's either, it's dumb coaching, but this is why I said on the offensive end when it comes to TJ Watt, the coaches aren't the Pittsburgh Steelers aren't rotating TJ Watt to the right side now just because they know the play's going that way. He's not being double teamed for multiple various reasons. I don't know that. I don't know why.
Now, to piggyback off that to you, JJ, hold on, Trey, to piggyback off you, JJ. That's why I say, like, when the people like when the corners that are traveling doing the harder stuff, i.e. the edge rushers that are getting doubled, like Myles Garrett, who gets double teamed the most and still bugging out. Yeah, they're better than somebody who's just going against one-on-ones majority of the time.
Okay. I think we all
hold on before
you guys value do you guys agree that TJ Watt is the best one-on-one edge rusher in the league?
No. One-on-one, no.
No.
I think that's Myles Garrett.
Okay, this is what I will
That's
say.
Nick Bosa.
It's not. Anyway.
Not Nick Bosa.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're so funny, movie.
This is what I want to say about the double team thing with TJ Watt, because there was a point where he was getting doubled a lot. And I think one of the things that started to show up when you watch the Steelers is they involve TJ Watt a lot in some of their blitzes and their stunts. And they do it purposely working games with him so they can get him one-on-one matches. So it's not necessarily a situation where a lot of times teams are like, cool, we're just not going to double this guy. But if you end up in a situation where they're using him in whatever zone blitz or they're using him in some kind of stunt and he ends up looping around on a guard and now he's got a one-on-one matchup with a guard going up the B gap, that's not necessarily a situation of, hey, he's not that important. That's the coach is saying, hey, he is that important, so we gonna make sure he gets his one-on-one. So it's kind of, but even with all that, I still have.
I like that.
I still have Max Crosby above all those guys because Max Crosby is out here playing in trash and has been his entire career and has consistently been one of the top guys, regardless of how poor everything else is around him.
And to be
all the guys, even Myles Garrett,
and to big up Max Crosby for sure. Like if we want to talk about it in the sense of what Max Crosby has done, in his earliest career, you know what I'm saying? People weren't paying attention to him. Like I'm not gonna lie, my first experience actually even knowing who Max Crosby was, outside of anything else, was Madden. I seen that man. It was easy to trade for him. I said, let me pick him up, right? So I'm just seeing a dude with blonde hair, and I just know he's by the time I get him in 3 years, he's gonna be like a 95, right? So I didn't know who he was. But guess what? So that right there already, because that helps me find out, because the players I don't know, I want to go research them and find out more about them, right? And so I'm looking at Max Crosby, I'm finding about his story. I'm like, okay, these guys, they got a real, I want to say, project on their hands, and we want to be honest here, because we don't know what can happen with players, the situation they came in through, with Max Crosby. And big ups to him for even being able to do what he's done right now. And so him coming into this team, and this Raiders team, and then becoming a better player, and then getting better every year, you just you see the progression, noticeable. It's very noticeable. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing the way he's changed that defensive line in that front, and then seeing the pressure he's got. They have drafted Cleveland Farrell to be the quote-unquote guy for that team on that D-line, and it ended up being Max Crosby. You know what I'm saying? And so, bro, that's why I every time I look at him, I start noticing all the stuff he's doing. I'm like, bro, they got a dog over there, and on top of that, the story that comes behind it makes him even more of a dog. You know what I'm saying? So,
and the thing is with Max Crosby, bro, he's never had a real deal edge with him to help him out. Chandler Jones wouldn't, but Chandler Jones was washed.
But Chandler Jones, he was still doing stuff. He was still doing
Raiders?
That 1 year. I'm just talking about one. He was doing that.
I'm telling you,
I think you're dragging it a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
say
Trent on that Glazer shit, bro. Chandler Jones is not washed, bro.
okay, so okay, if he's not washed, he's
No,
ready.
he is.
Next.
He's been washed since that year with the Cardinals.
No, he
Yeah.
has not, bro. Y'all don't
He's
watch.
been washed.
No,
He's been washed. He's been washed since that 5-sack game.
Y'all just call
And
everybody.
that's what I'm
washed,
Kieran,
bro.
that's what I'm saying. And that
Wait,
5-sack game was against a Taylor Lewan coming off an ACL injury. He had no time to practice. Literally no time to practice.
Chandler Jones has had 9 sacks since that game, bro.
That's terrible. And 5 of that came from one game. That's terrible.
He's trying.
Come on, bro. But nah, like I said, bro, he never had a real edge around him to really help him out. Well, like with these other dudes, like Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett just got Tre'Davious Smith.
All right, who did Nick Bosa have?
You said what?
What edge rush he had?
Wait, hold up. I don't like
Forrest Buckner, Eric Armstead.
You said Eric Armstead. That nigga was
and at one point, Sepson Ebukam was getting double teamed more than Nick Bosa. So
I thought you were about to say TJ Watt.
That's a lie.
That's fair. At one point, Simpson Ebukam was the most double teamed.
Trey, I thought you were about to say TJ Watt. Fuck.
No, like
yes.
To sit here and act like Nick Bosa
I feel like
has been out here doing.
So hold on, let me ask you something. Where you rank
let Trey finish.
at? Where you rank him at?
What?
Where you rank that guy at?
He's at Ebukam, but Ebukam is not.
No longer plays there. He plays for the Colts.
I'm talking about when he was playing there.
I didn't rank him at all.
Okay, then. So what's your point of breaking it up?
My point is this: the fact that you would sit here and act as if Nick Bosa for the entirety of his career has been doing it on his own when
he has.
No,
he hasn't had nobody elite on the defensive side of the ball.
What?
Yo, bro, hey, we gonna move it on.
Just last thing I want to say about the double team.
At the DN position, he didn't have nobody elite, bro.
You got D tackles there, bro. Eric Armstead.
That doesn't matter.
Armstead is mid. He's mid, bro.
So you said
Eric Armstead is not mid.
Anyways, JJ,
he's mid, bro. Stop.
JJ, what was you about to say?
So look, all right. So one other thing I want to say about double teams. Usually, we all know double teams go to the best player on that D line most of the time. You know, whether it be on the inside or the outside. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times too, I forgot to add this in. There are teams that try to scheme because they know you have the weaker guy on the other side, and if I can send 2 over there, and because we have a good enough scheme for me to send 2 over to that way, and we get a bigger game because I sent 2 over there, and you're not gonna be able to beat that at all. That works too. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, there's a lot of times, right, where in the case of TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith he really is not. He's not better than TJ Watt. I think we could all agree on that. And so, based off of what we're watching in the NFL and with stuff that's going on, I can send my guys if I'm trying to run outside zone or run between the in between guard and center, not even guard and center, run between tackle and tight end, and then sit there and be able to have a double team happen over there. You know what I'm saying? And I get on Alex Highsmith, the weaker DN versus a guy like or the weaker linebacker versus a guy like TJ Watt. That jump works too. You know what I'm saying? That's scheme dependent too. And so there's a lot of situations where the teams are watching because Trey, I think you know this. I think Champ knows this. I know Josh knows this. I know all y'all know this, right? When we watch games, there's a lot of times you see teams go and review what they just witnessed the week before and how this worked for that team. And so if I see that if it worked for that team, okay, I'm try to implement it in our own way. If not, if we're a better team than that team and we have better guys to run that same thing y'all were doing and y'all were successful with it, why not run it the same way and then not be more successful? And so keep it going. So that's all I'm saying with the double team rate too. That could be skewed in a little bit ways. So
what happened?
Y'all gonna think I'm trolling, bro. But I actually feel this way, bro. And I've been taking some time to like put it in words on. I'm going to explain it so y'all won't be emotional. But when we looking at talent, right? Talent is when we measure how great as a player is, right?
Okay, tell me, wait. When you talk about talent, are you talking because the way I define talent and probably the way you define talent is probably two different things. Because you always say I try to define talent because I always like when I judge players, I judge on who's the better player, like who's more accurate, who's a better passer, this and that, blah blah blah. It's not really like talent is like the arm, how big is your arm, like the 6'6", like some like talent,
how well you do a particular skill.
Trait.
Yes, talent is really physical traits, and we're talking about who's big. Yeah.
All right, I'm glad y'all sat there and said that. Justin Herbert is more talented than Tom Brady, bro.
Okay, and
He not only that.
Who gives a shit?
Not
I
only
mean,
that.
there's a lot of
Not-
quarterbacks more talented than
Okay,
Tom
Mookie,
Brady.
he's
bro.
more
Not only
talented.
that. Not only that.
I mean,
Not only
Hold
Okay,
on,
hold
here,
on.
let me-
Let me finish.
Not only
Let me
that.
finish.
Not only
Let him
that.
finish. So you go on TikTok.
Not
Go ahead.
only that. When I talk about a guy that's more talented, bro, I think he's better than Tom Brady, bro. And the reason why I think he's better
Let him
is
finish,
because,
let him finish.
hold on. And the reason why I think he's better than Tom Brady, because imagine if you put Justin Herbert in Tom Brady's situation,
oh
where he
my,
could be a goddamn game manager and rely on a dink and dunk for his first 3 Super Bowls, bro.
What are you saying?
And
Kieran,
not
so
only
hold on.
that-
Keep
not-
going.
not-
Keep going. Keep going.
and not only that, when we look at physical traits, we never seen a quarterback that's like 6'6", got a cannon of an arm, accurate as hell. But he's already more accurate than he's already more accurate than Tom Brady as well. And Tom Brady has never had the production that Justin Herbert had throughout his first 3 to 4 seasons. The reason why Tom Brady won is because he's been on the best situation of any quarterback in NFL history. He's always had an elite level defense. He's always had an elite level coach, and he's always had elite level weapons and special team as well. You put Justin Herbert in that situation, he won the same rings as Tom Brady in the first 3 years. That's why he's better and he's more talented than Tom Brady. But Tom Brady got the better career. But when I look at quarterbacks and look at talent, give me Justin Herbert.
So wait, so Mookie, let me ask you this: You think that Justin Herbert is the best QB of all time?
No,
Who's
that's Drew Brees.
Okay. So wait, so do you think Justin Herbert's a top 3 quarterback of all time?
When he has the longevity and when
No. Okay, so put it like this: when you talking about physical talents, right?
Yes.
Who's the better player?
Yes.
Is Justin Herbert top 3 all time?
Are we talking about talent?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah. He's top 5. He's top 5. And that's not a bad take. Come on, stop. That's not a bad take. Justin
Throw
Herbert.
the flag, nigga! Throw the flag!
That's not a bad take. If we talking about physical traits, hold on, Trey. You love physical traits with quarterbacks, right? Who is more physical and have a cannon of an arm like a guy that's 6'6",
No,
who's 240-something pounds, that run
This
a
is where
4.4?
You finna say Drake may better than
Mookie, wait, time out. I'm gonna stop you right there. First off, wait, time out. I'm stop you right there. First off, Justin Herbert didn't run a 4.4. He ran a 4.7. Second, when you're talking about talent and saying who's the better player, there is nothing and I mean nothing. Justin Herbert does better than Tom Brady.
Yes, he does. He's more accurate.
That is a lie.
He's more accurate. He has a cannon of an arm. Bro,
That is
what do you mean that's a lie?
That is a lie.
What are you saying?
Hold on. Of course, you're going to look more accurate when you play with one of the greatest tight ends of all time and playing with one of the greatest slot receivers of all time and playing with one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Mookie. Okay,
Can I interject real quick?
I just want to ask this one more question, Sam, real quick. So let me ask you this. Mookie, is Tom Brady a top 5 quarterback of all time?
Yeah, because the longevity, because of his career.
I thought but you was just diminishing him playing with Gronk and all them guys and stuff like that. So how is he top 5?
Because I think, despite the situation, he still has the talent of a quarterback, and he's still prevailed in this situation.
Well, you just said Justin Herbert is more talented. Okay, so let me ask you this: Is Josh Allen a better quarterback than Tom Brady?
If you're talking about talented, yeah, he's more talented.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
Okay, let me ask you a few questions. I got a little recipe I'm cooking up over here, so let me ask. I'm kind of fat. I love to eat. Let me see what I can throw at you. So, name me one receiver prior to 2007 that was an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler that Tom Brady played with. Can you name him for me?
I don't like that logic.
That's not a good.
No. You brought up Gronk in all of the situations that Tom Brady's been in. So prior to Gronk and Moss, who did he have? Because right now, Justin Herbert has Keenan Allen and Mike Williams right now. Not to mention Austin Heckler. So what's the logic here? And he didn't get an All-Pro running back.
So let me ask you something.
And he didn't get an All-Pro running back until he got caught killing Dylan in 2004. So what's the argument here? What are we talking about?
No. My argument is this: is that if you told me that Justin Herbert had to play the game manager role like Tom Brady had to play when he was dinking and dunking, right? And he was relying on that running game, and he was relying on that goddamn special team as well with that elite level defense that Tom Brady had, bro. You telling me that Justin Herbert can't duplicate the same thing that Tom Brady doing, and he can't win about the same amount of rings as Tom Brady can, bro. Any quarterback can do that
right now with two great wide receivers. What are we
deal with
talking
the
about?
grade? Mike Williams is great.
So you talking about 2001? You talking about 2001, right? Where they won the Super Bowl, where they had the league's best defense in the world, right? I think it was like they was top 5 of the goddamn league, bro. You know what I'm saying? And they had that elite, and their offense was what ranked a top 10 offense in the league as well, right? You telling me that with the weapons that they had from Kevin Falk, from who else they had? You know what I'm saying? They had Troy Brown. I think Troy Brown was a Pro Bowler as well. I think he made the
Troy
Pro
Brown,
Bowl.
who was a corner at one point, who played nickel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but
talking about Troy Brown was a corner at one point.
You know,
he made cornerback. He made Pro Bowl because he played both ways. They didn't select him as a wide receiver.
So now you put context. Hold on, you put context on the Pro Bowls, right?
You know what's crazy? Real quick,
I like how you do that.
Eagle Nation. Tom Brady did do that. I think he led the league in passing in 2005.
Talking about that same 5'10" Troy Brown with the mark.
Bro,
and they had Antoine Smith. Like, bro, it's easy to dink and dunk.
Why are we hyping up Antoine Smith?
Antoine Smith rushed for over 1,000 yards. Hold on.
Besides
Antoine
01, name one
rushed for
solid
over 1,000 yards that year. What are we talking about
He
here?
did play Wes Welker, though. Wes Welker was a guy. I don't care what y'all tell me.
He had one good season.
So like I said there and said, bro. Like I said there and said, Justin Herbert would have duplicated the same success as Tom Brady, bro. He just would.
Okay,
that's how you feel.
I bet he thinks Drew Brees could have did the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he does. He does.
You know what the thing is? Because Drew Brees was in that same offense out there with Marty Schottenheimer, he still couldn't do it. With LaDainian Thompson, Antonio Gates, Vincent Jackson.
Hold on. Let me cook you, champ. Talk about that thing here where he threw for over, where he was top 10 in passing yards, and he made a Pro Bowl, led the Chargers to the playoffs when it was
and lost in the first round in that same offense.
Okay,
with that same top 10 defense.
But he did not
because they had Sean Merriman. They had Sean Phillips. No, let me cook you real quick, brother.
Did he not cook?
Yeah. Come on, they had Johnny Edwards. They had Quentin Jammer. They had Antonio Cromartie. They had all those great defensive players and that Dickie Duck offense with an MVP and still couldn't get past first round playoffs. You talking about that Drew Brees with that Dickie Duck offense?
Hold on, you said what? First of all,
you talking about that Drew Brees?
Hey, Brown, do it again, champ. Do it again. Cook him again. Do it again.
Hold on.
You talking about that Drew Brees?
Come on, Mookie. Let him finish. Go ahead, champ.
That Drew Brees in a Marty Schottenheimer conservative offense, and we all know what Marty Ball is known for.
Yep.
Top 5 running team, at least top 5 defense. Sean Merriman was on that team. Donnie Edwards was on that team. Sean Phillips was on that team. Just to name a few.
Okay.
That team was top 5. Not to mention, they had not only LaDainian Thompson in that running game, but Michael Turner and Darren Sproles.
Okay, so
that was a Dick and Duck offense, and they didn't make it past the first round, even during his best season in San Diego.
Now, let me debunk the lies that you said. First of all, the Chargers were not a top 5 defense in the NFL, bro. They wasn't even top 10.
You sure?
You sure about that?
They was not a top 10. They was not a top 10 defense, bro. They wasn't. Okay. They was not in the top 10. So they was not elite. So you name all of that, and it still doesn't reflect on there was 11th in the league outside the top 10 in points and against. There was way better defense than the Chargers as well. Then when we're looking at the same offense that you sit there and say that Drew Brees was Dick and Dunk, we talking about Drew Brees, who was top 10 in passing yards that year, talking about Dick and Dunk. Not only he was top 10 in passing yards that year, but I believe he was top 7 and 8 in touchdowns. And on top of that, bro, the Chargers was a top 3 offense in the NFL, bro. And it was number 1 in their division. So, and we talk about a Drew Brees that was not even fully developed as a quarterback yet because he wasn't even in his prime. So imagine if I get that type of Drew Brees, right?
Yeah.
I put him in a Patriots offense. But we got even a better coach in Bill Belichick, who's producing some of the best defensive units we have seen in NFL history, bro.
Yeah, champ, he got
Okay.
you.
Let me ask.
The Chargers weren't a top
playing
10.
with me.
The Chargers weren't a top 10 defense. They were a top 11 defense. So
Well, like I said, it wasn't a good defense. I consider elite level defense top
11
5,
isn't
top
good?
3 at best.
Okay, I don't want to hear your argument about what you consider elite defenses because the Browns.
Trey, don't be mad because I cook you on that Brown stuff. Don't be mad because I cook you. Trey, you gotta let that go, Trey. Just let that go, man. I cook your ass.
The Browns were the number one team in the league on defense, and you said they weren't elite. You're not keeping the same energy.
They wasn't elite.
Choosing.
Are they number 1 in the league right now?
Huh?
Is they number 1 in the league right now?
I'm pretty sure they're still a top 10 defense. So if you're saying to me that, oh yeah, currently they're 9. So by your own logic, if it's a top 10 defense and you just said to you elite defenses are in the top 10, well then
No.
That's what you just said.
No. I'm about to start barking in this bitch because you lying on me.
What the
Not
fuck?
barking means you in trouble. First of all, I sat there and said to be considered elite, you gotta be. It got hold on. We play the film. I sat there and said to be elite, you have to be a top 3 to top 5 defense in the league.
They were the number 1 defense, and you were saying they weren't that.
Well, I think it was disingenuous because it was too early in the season, and on top of that, bro,
You're just yapping at this point, man. I'm sorry.
I'm just cooking this point, man.
You're not.
What you cooking? Vienna sausages and noodles?
No, I'm cooking hibachi.
That boy cooking raw.
We got a couple things.
I'm cooking hibachi, man.
We got a couple things.
Stir fry mignon.
Hey,
hold on. Let me say this right quick, Trent.
Go ahead.
Bro, y'all gotta stop overrating Tom Brady. This man is a goddamn cheater. He's been in the best situation of any quarterback in NFL history. He's played with. Hold on. Do you know how many All Pros Tom Brady has played with in the Pro Bowls that he played with on the offense and the defensive side of the ball? He can't.
Okay, we can do the same thing.
35 All Pros and damn near 50 Pro Bowls on his goddamn team on the offense and the defense combined. Bro. What are you talking about here, bro?
Yo. Do you have Peyton Manning over Tom Brady?
Huh?
Do you have Peyton Manning over Tom Brady?
Yes.
Let's move on.
Who did Peyton Manning play with on the offensive side of the ball?
Marshall Falk, Marvin Harrison, Dallas.
Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne.
What's
the other guy from?
Adrian James, Marshall Falk, Dallas Clark.
Dallas Clark. I was about to say Dallas Clark.
All that talent. He had all that talent and was a playoff.
Now, this is why I'm about to step on you. See, this is why I do. I step on you.
Step on him,
you comparing all of that to one of the greatest slot receivers of all time in Wes Walker, one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. Not only that,
he had Moss for 3 years, brother. 3 years. And he played. Manning had that for the majority of his career.
Okay. If you give any other quarter, if you give any other quarter,
Marshall Falk at the beginning of his year.
If you give
Marvin Harrison at the beginning of his career.
Okay, if you give any other quarterback Randy Moss, I don't think they lose in the Super Bowl with Randy Moss on their goddamn team, bro.
They do to them Giants.
Like I said there and said, yeah, they lost to the Giants, but they shouldn't lose to the Giants. Like I said there and said,
the Niners lost to the Super Bowl already.
Bro, this man played with. Hold on, what are we doing? He played with the greatest red zone threat tight end in NFL history, bro.
Who?
Gronk, the greatest red zone threat tight end in NFL history. Don't deny that.
Okay, cool. Talk to me about the other 15 years where he didn't.
Yeah, let's move on. No.
Did Tom Brady win a Super Bowl without Gronk?
Yes, he did. Let's move on. Hold on. Move on.
And he's a cheater too.
We got to talk. We have a couple things to talk about. So, yeah, I don't. Yo, Gabe, just let him rock, bro. Let him rock. But
that man had Julian Edelman, Mike Evans.
Yo, rookie. No, hold on.
All mid.
Shaq Moss.
The Bengals beat. What's the name? The Bengals beat the San Francisco Cowboys. Sunday. So I want to ask y'all. Is Joe Burrow and the Bengals finally back? And I'm gonna start with you, Trey.
Okay. Back, probably. I think the biggest thing that's holding me back from saying are they back is they're still not balanced. Like Joe Mixon isn't the same guy anymore. And even though he's been slowing down for the last couple of years, I think we're finally starting to see the point in their offense where they really have to get pass happy, because even at his best, like when Joe was there from his rookie year on, he's been a good running back. I don't know how much he's got left in the tank for him to really be a difference maker in that offense. And because, if I'm being honest, that offense kind of held together by duct tape and bubble gum. At this point, if they don't find some level of balance, I don't know how back they really are, because putting Joe Burrow behind that offensive line, constantly having him drop back and having to make things happen with Jamar Chase and crew, and you're just going to take punishment, and everybody knows, okay, cool, they just going to drop back and throw this ball all over the place because they can't really run the ball on folks the way they'd like to in certain situations. I'd give a little more pause before I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, they back.
All right, champ.
I agree with Trey. I must agree with that, because especially with that offensive line, because when you have a very, very shaky offensive line, and in the great words of the Joker, all it takes is one bad day, and then your quarterback out again, and he's injured again. So I got to go with that take, because the thing is, yes, they play in spurts as well. It's like they'll have a couple, you think, yeah, they back, and then they'll have that one game where you say, well, what the world just happened? And
Against the Browns.
the only way they're gonna get there is they got to do something about their offensive line in the future. I thought that they finally had it done when they signed. I think they signed Zeus in the offseason. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know whether he's not playing or not, but yeah, there's some tremendous woes in that situation. So yeah, and plus, like I said, Joe Mixon is not what he was. He's not running the ball like he once was. So I got to go with Trey on that one.
Kieran?
My thing about the Bengals, I have to give it like a week or two, just because the Niners are not fully healthy. I know a lot of people calling them the Cowgirls, but Trent Williams not being there is a massive loss. So they did have the advantage over that. Joe Burrow does look more healthy, so I'm not giving up hope. Who do they play next week?
See who the Bengals play next week?
Yeah, I'm looking right now.
The Bengals play. Oh, the Bills.
The Bills.
Ooh.
Shootout.
I'm not. So, if they beat the Bills, I'll say they're back. But I can't say right now. I still have a lot of questions with their offensive line. I think Trey Henderson got hurt as well.
Yeah.
In that game. So, and he's their best edge rusher, so that could be a massive loss if he's not playing. We'll see what happens. I'm glad Jamar Chase is getting more involved, though, finally.
Yeah, because when he starts getting more involved, y'all can realize that he's really better than A.J. Brown. But, hey, I digress. But,
I don't.
AJ, how you feel about the Bengals?
Hey, bro. First of all, y'all gonna stop disrespecting Joe Burrow like how it was. You know what I'm saying?
He's finally playing like the top two quarterbacks.
He's not playing like Jamarcus Russell anymore.
Hold up.
Wow.
He could be protected all he wants, but hey, when you have an injured calf, bro, and you realize that the mobility isn't there, which we realized after he got his mobility back, and then it made a difference. Yeah, we go ahead.
He's not playing like Aaron Brooks.
That's cool. That's cool. He's not playing by whatever garbage quarterback that you want to name, bro.
Bryce Petty.
When he got his calf back, it was over with for the rest of the AFC North. Because guess what? Between the Bengals and the Ravens, just hear me. Between the Bengals and the Ravens. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. The Bengals for sure. All right, they back. They for sure back. Y'all don't got to worry about that. They back. But between them and the Ravens, if I predicted how I think it's going to go down, they're going to win the division again. And T. Higgins going to get involved again after that injury. And so T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, they finna go crazy. Joe Mixon's finna go for his little 50 ball, whatever he does on fantasy one time of the year to get them another win. You know what I'm saying? 4 touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? 200 yards. He's gonna do it one time. It's gonna happen eventually. It's an annual thing. It's an annual occurrence. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing that that Champ brought up, which was a fact, That O-line is still piss poor. It's still gonna stay doo-doo dog water, whatever else, however else y'all want to put it, bro. Because at the end of the day, they do not care to protect their quarterback, or else they wouldn't have been in the position they were in the first place with that calf strain in the first place. You know, if y'all get where I'm coming from. On top of that, the defense is taking a hit. Like my dog Trey said when we was talking about my dog Jesse Bates about a week or two ago, right? Jesse Bates was one of the main reasons why that defense was holding up together in the regular season and then boosting up in the playoffs. It is now noticeable that without Jesse Bates, Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard are not going to be able, and Logan Wilson are not going to be able to hold it down to keep your defense afloat to make it to the playoffs, which is why I'm still a little nervous on saying that they're going to win the division, right? But at the end of the day, the Bengals offense is still super high-powered. One of the best abilities they have is getting the ball out quickly and getting into their playmaker in the hands of their playmakers and Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins. And they're going to continue to do that. And they just did that against an elite defense that just added somebody, by the way. But still, they're going to continue to do that for the rest of the season. And the Ravens, y'all got somebody coming up right up your tail, bro. You know what I'm saying? Tigers eat birds, bro. That's all I got to say, bro. Keep going.
Tigers
Josh,
can only eat birds if you can catch them.
Josh, how you feel?
I would take the Ravens. Their defense is so good, man.
Wait, what you say, Josh?
You're asking me how I feel about the Bengals?
Yeah. How you feel? Are they back?
See, like, they do this every year. They always start off slow. Like, I guess they're back. It's whatever. The schedule's going to be really hard, so there's going to be huge tests for them. But I think they'll fare pretty well. Probably finish second in the division. So, yeah, they'll be fine.
All right. So, we can move it on.
Hey, Joe Shiesty, man.
Yeah, shout out.
Josh Allen's still better.
Shout out Joe Burrow not playing like Bryce Petty.
Yeah, shout out Joe Burrow for not playing like a bum. Yeah, for sure. I
know people. I don't know why people with bums as their quarterbacks are still trying to.
Yo, Duck Hodges or
you have a bum in your quarterback too.
Hey, but you don't see I'm downplaying them. You see, I'm boosting them up.
I'm playing him. It's that he's a top 2 quarterback playing like a top 40 quarterback.
Right, and we was all on his head. Now, guess what? It's time for us to now get back.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's time for stuff to
hey, it's time for us to apologize because his calf was really holding him back that much, nigga. Yeah.
For that. Because when Jamar Chase had like 15 catches, 3 TDs, nobody was trying to apologize then when he was bugging out him and Joe Burrow.
Shoot. That was y'all. That's on y'all, bro. Y'all was trying to
y'all be bro. Yeah, well,
Trey, bro. They was trying to do my dog dirty, bro. They was trying to send him back to Alcatraz, bro.
We gonna move it on though.
Alcatraz.
We was talking about Devontae Adams, but the trade deadline went and he didn't get traded. So after the season, do we think the Raiders should just blow it all up?
Yes.
Yeah.
We all agree that, right? They all should just blow it up.
Yes, and Max Crosby that winner.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Wait a minute. Go ahead, Trey.
I'm gonna take it one step further, then blow it all up. Hey, Mark Davis. I know you.
He is old, actually.
I'm about to say, I know you the owner, but hey, let me keep it old. I know this has been in your family since you were born. Hey, bro, I think it's time you give it up. Go ahead and sell the team, bro. We need to blow this. When I say blow it up, I mean blow it all the way up.
Everything gone.
Look, I loved Al Davis. The stories of like how he became Al Davis was a gangster. Like, do your homework. On Al Davis. That dude was a real gangster.
He's one of the best owners ever. So yeah.
Yes, but this is a dumpster fire of the highest proportions. Like, this is a dumpster fire from the ninth circle of hell. When I say blow this up, I mean blow it all the way up. Mark Davis, sell the team. GM, get fired. Josh McDaniels, you should never be allowed to be a head coach again. The fact that you have gotten this many chances is alarming.
It's called Belichick nepotism at this point. Belichick got his own personal nepotism.
People want to use the term nepo babies all the time. No, Josh McDaniels is a prime example of a nepo baby.
1,000%.
Quick question, real quick. Yeah. And I just have to ask this. Do you think that their woes, as far as the Las Vegas Raiders are concerned, is some of the same woes that the Dallas Cowboys suffer from? And hear me out on this. as far as not hiring a strong-minded head coach and hiring these yes men. Do you think it's a lot of their losing stems from that? Because if you look at their coaching history leading up to this point, when they have a real or sort of like a strong-minded coach, they quick to get rid of him. When they had Jack Del Rio, they quick to get rid of him. When they had Tom Cable, they quick to get rid of him. But when they have these yes men in there and they're losing, they keep it for long periods of time, and they've been firing them at a rate of 2.5 years. Do you think that is the root cause of all of their losing the past like 20 years they've been in there since John Gruden?
I think
It could be.
I think there's some level of truth to that, but I think it's different situations. I think with the Cowboys, the issue, like you said, has been there hasn't been a strong presence at the head coach because the owner decided when he got rid of Jimmy Johnson that the strongest presence in the Dallas Cowboys organization was going to be him. With the Raiders, I don't necessarily think it's been that. I think there were shades of that when Al Davis was still alive and he was the owner. And as he got older, he was still trying to kind of hold on to what he was, which was, yes, I'm the owner, but I'm also kind of the de facto GM and all that other stuff. So you could argue that with him. But with Mark, I think it's more so just, I don't want to say general incompetence, but it's probably something closer to that in terms of just, I really don't know what to do here. It's just been given to me. And because it's an easy money pull every year, because the reality is owning a football team for a billionaire it's stupid proof. Like, it doesn't matter how bad your team is. As a sport, we love this shit so much that people are going to show up to your games every week, if for no other reason, just to sit there and boo you because it feels cathartic after a long week of work. That's a real thing. So these dudes don't feel the need to necessarily do better because their bottom line is we need to make money. Well, if you're making $1 billion profit every year, and it doesn't matter whether you're 10-6 or 2-14, well, then what incentive do you have to really change anything? And also, even if he wanted to change something, I don't think he has the acumen in this area to change anything, which is why I said, at this point, bro, just go ahead and sell the team. Get your $6 million.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you good. I'm just saying, go ahead and get whatever billions you going to get for this team and go ahead and ride off into the sunset, dude. Let somebody else.
They should take a try at Jim Harbaugh if he ends up leaving Michigan?
No, I don't.
Why not?
I've heard his name. I've heard his name floated around, and I do not believe in that. I will say this about Jim Harbaugh.
Okay.
One of the jobs that I had moving around was I worked in radio in San Francisco. I will not divulge the things that were told to me about how the ending of that whole situation went in terms of.
Yeah, he was at odds with the front office all the damn time from what I heard.
It was a war. It was a war in the front office, but there were just, at the end of the day, there were so many things that went wrong there that were specifically on him. I would be wary as an NFL team if I decided that I'm going to give this man a hefty contract and control of my team, because that's what he's going to ask for. He's going to ask to be paid handsomely, and he's going to ask for roster control. Yeah. And given the way it ended in San Francisco with what I know,
he's gonna burn you out. He's gonna burn you out after 3 years.
My only scare with like the Jim Harbaugh thing is that he hasn't coached in the NFL in 10 years, like almost 10 years at this point. We saw guys like John Gruden try to come back. He wasn't as successful as he used to be. So that would be a worry about Jim Harbaugh. Like if he was the coach of the Raiders, I think the Raiders should have got a coach like Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson's like
that'd be great. That'd be great. But we're gonna do the last time before we head out. So we just just a little simple. We're gonna start with the AFC first. It was mid-season. It's week 8, about to be week 9. So we're gonna do a little mid-season picks to win the AFC. AFC and NFC. So I'm gonna start off with you, Trey, and then you just tell your team, and then I'm gonna keep going down.
You said midseason pick to win the AFC.
Yep.
I'm still gonna say the Chiefs.
All right, Camp.
Miami.
Ooh. Wow. Okay.
Kieran.
Hot take. I know y'all are used to that for me. Hot take, but
I don't hate that pick, even though I don't agree. I'm still going with the Chiefs. Still Mahomes' league.
Yeah. JJ.
Don't do it.
Don't do what? I didn't even say anything.
JJ, say the team, bro.
You say the Bengals, I swear to God.
He's struggling.
He's struggling. He dead struggling.
The Jaguars.
Wow.
Hot take.
Y'all just want to. We just want to be different today. But okay.
I'm not being different. I just be real. That's real.
Mid-season picks to win the NFC. Trey.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I don't want it to, but
Champ.
Huh?
Champ, who you got?
I'm gonna be safe and say Philadelphia.
Kieran.
I want to be different. I'm gonna say Dallas.
JJ.
The Avengers.
The 49ers.
That's the Justice League.
We're gonna see Seattle.
who are the Avengers?
What are the Avengers? The Eagles?
Yes, bruh. I don't care what y'all say. Ain't nobody beating that team. I don't care.
I don't think nobody beating that
Bro,
team.
I don't care.
I
Bro,
just
they could lose one more. They could lose one more time in the regular season. They will still not lose in the playoffs, bro. I don't care, bro. They not, bro. They won't lose in the regular season, bro. They got it.
Okay, to be fair, I only picked Dallas because I said they would win it.
Okay, so wait, JJ, why do you have the Jags winning the AFC?
Hey, man. Say, man. A lot of it rides on how they play going into the rest of the season, right? I've noticed when it comes to Calvin Ridley and that wide receiver core, they got a good group over there, right? Calvin Ridley has been a little bit underwhelming in recent weeks, yes. And it's a fact. Travis Etienne, though, has been doing some work, you know what I'm saying? And has been opening up the game to get him to his two safety blankets. You know what I'm saying? Trevor Lawrence's two safety blankets.
Want to be Austin Eckler.
And Evan Ingram. Want to be Austin Eckler. I don't care what you say. Travis Etienne is clearly better than him. He's better than that. And literally running the football, catching the football, doing stuff with the football, he's just better than him. So you got to move that way. Anyways, Evan Ingram has been nothing short of great for the Jags. Sorry, Giants fans. You know, sorry, Trent. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why he wasn't doing this with y'all. Maybe it's the scheme.
Maybe they have a good. Maybe they have a good quarterback.
He wasn't used right, and he played like trash. He was actually bad. I don't know why, but hey,
I know is the minute he stepped on that field and decided to go be coached by, dang, what the heck? Doug Peterson, and caught the ball from that generational. Where that boy G baby at? Play that clip real quick. That generational talent in Trevor Lawrence. He's been nothing short but great. One of the best tight ends in the league, you know what I'm saying? Lower half, but still, that's not saying much, but it's still good. You know what I'm saying? Christian Kirk has been everything that I say he was last year, and is still doing it now with a guy that's quote-unquote the number one receiver on the team. You know what I'm saying? You know, Trent, we were talking last year. Y'all was saying Christian Kirk really wasn't a bona fide number one. You know what I'm saying? He's really and in the case, technically he still isn't. But, I mean, at the end of the day, what he's doing for the Jags, I'm saying what he's doing, I don't think it's overpay anything at this point. You can't really say that anymore. That's just disrespectful to him. Because for what he's been doing for this team and helping this quarterback uplift the quarterback while also uplifting the team and being able to move that offense, generate offense with catching the football, being a receiver, and being able to get open the way he does, that's you got to get some credit right there, bro. And so,
no, I give him credit.
So I don't think it's overpay for what they're doing over there for sure. If they made it happen, and so if you gonna make it happen, if I'm gonna pay you that much money, I expect you to be doing this, and that's exactly what he's doing. So you know. What we're waiting on for why I said the Jags going to win is because, one, at the end of the day, they're in the AFC South. And the AFC South is the AFC South, right? So right now, I think they might run away with it, even though they might have them little tough rivalry games or whatever. I think they're going to run away with it in their own division. I gotta go look at their schedule again. But I know they have a couple more tough games, but I think they're gonna pull them out for sure because they've been in some tough games
They
already.
play the Niners, right?
All right, so Chen, why do you have the Jags coming out the AFC? I mean, not the Jags, the Dolphins. My bad.
I just want to be different and not pick the Chiefs this year and not go with the popular pick. Plus, I think their offense is going to carry them a little bit further than we think they are, and they just got back Jalen Ramsey as well, and they're going to get healthy going down the stretch. So that's one reason why I picked them.
I think the one thing that might save them, and the one thing that isn't talked about enough when we talk about the Miami offense, part of why they were so explosive, it wasn't just because of Tyreek Hill. It was because of the emergence of Devon Achane in that offense. Like,
Them is a dog.
that kid isn't just another Raheem Mostert. That kid has another that kid has another gear that rivals Tyreek Hill. Like, there's something to be said about having two guys that, quite frankly, you just can't account for because they're so fast. If you give them a crease, it's over with. If you're already playing quarters or quarter half, or you're playing cover two because you're scared of Tyreek Hill flying by you, and you're playing all these light boxes, and the dude that they're handing it off to is just as fast as Tyreek Hill, and he's running by all of your linebackers, like, it becomes a point where all Tua really has to do is just not screw it up. Like, if they can get any kind of consistency up front with that offensive line, yes, there is definitely a world where Miami could win the AFC. But that's kind of a big if. So we just gonna have to wait and see.
All right. Well, we hit the 2-hour minute mark, so we about to go wrap it up and end up. Appreciate everybody that came. Appreciate y'all coming out, bro. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. Oh yeah, also it's gonna be a new time since Gridiron got moved up on Wednesdays from I think there's only at 5 Eastern tomorrow for Wednesdays from Gridiron. So my college football show will be now at 8:30 Central. Champ, I don't know if you still plug for that. If you can, let me know.
8:30 Central.
Yeah, so it'll be 9:30 for if you Eastern or whatever.
Okay, I'll be there.
All right, bet. So make sure y'all tune in at 8:30 Central. Then I'm gonna let y'all know who else I got for the VIP room. Might be Xavier McKinney.
Ooh. Hey, bro. Hey, speaking of that, Lucas was, I don't know if you was reading the chat. Lucas was dodging my question, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna
W stream.
It might be Xavier McKinney. Hey, it might be Adoree. We saying to
Trent, you gotta get.
If y'all ain't watched that Sterling episode, y'all gotta go watch it.
That's it. Make sure y'all make sure y'all go rewatch. If you haven't, go watch the Sterling.
Go rewatch all of them.
You gotta get Dexter.
I'll really be doing it. Go watch watch the Sterling Shepard one. That was lit. That was for sure lit. Got some good stuff with that. But we out, bro. Peace.
Hey.
Hold up. He did. What happened?
Hey, hold up. Go ahead and run that Tyreek clip for me real quick, man.